This is the Big O Show. 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 This.
So here we are. I wanted to show you the backyard again because we had some trouble last time, but you know, cuttersedgepro.com does some amazing stuff, and there are the boys and the girl. They're having fun. There we go. Right, Maiden? Right, Bono? There we go. They're having fun. I'm having fun. Look at our Sylvester palm. It is beautiful. We got another one in the front yard like that. You can take your home and landscaping to the next level. And the artificial turf, look at that. Look at that. The two dinosaurs going at it, huh? Look at that. Gotta love the dinosaurs. Look at them. They like to bite each other's legs. That's what they do. They play with each other and then they bite each other and they piss each other off. It's fun. One is Bono, which is the one farther away from you, and Maiden. She's the girl right here. She's a badass. That's for sure. So anyway, see the flowers are coming out. Very nice. Cuttersedgepro.com, folks. This big tree there will start budding that I'm showing you there soon. It'll have all kinds of flowers. I'll post another video and I'll show it to you. This is a backyard where everybody gets to hang out. Over there in that corner there, I put the barbecue and cook. So that way it's the farthest away from the house, you know. If I light myself on fire or somebody else, we're out in the corner away from everybody. There you go. So you're getting some flowers coming out, which is a beautiful thing. And I swear by this artificial turf, it always looks phenomenal. I don't have to cut it. I don't have to water it. And so I'm saving a lot of money, hundreds and thousands in the long run, because I'm not watering or, of course, cutting the grass. And you know, here in South Florida, we cut the grass like every 10 to 14 days.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Radio Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated. They offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Alrighty! Yeah, baby, it's a Bitcoin Thursday. Yes, sir, live from Hialeah Park. Look at them. They're all looking. They're all going, what the hell is going on over there? Yes, we are ready to rock. We are ready to roll. It's Thursday. We are here at beautiful Hialeah Park where they've got the loosest slots in the state. And, of course, we're in the second floor poker room having some fun in a mighty good mood. Woo, baby. Yeah, a little Bitcoin action today hitting 37,000. Oh,
man. You know what's the funny part about all of this? Because as it's gone up, I've gone back, and I go in the search engine on my Twitter feed, and I just put Big O Show and you know Bitcoin or whatever, and then I find an old tweet of some guy saying, "Oh, it's a scam." So then I retweet the guy just to remind him, "Hey, so how's it going now?" So I've noticed that they've all kind of erased all their negative comments because they don't come up that much anymore. All you cowards out there that you're all dead ass wrong about crypto and Bitcoin. You cowards are hiding. You don't even come out and say, you were right. I was wrong about Bitcoin. I'm going to be wrong about crypto. I'm going to be wrong about the blockchain and Web3 and all that good stuff in the metaverse. I'm going to be wrong that it's really going to be a part of our lives, like you said. Yeah. So anyway, it's just fun to watch. Ethereum hit 2,000 today. Watching Polygon way up and Cosmos, and if you're an XRP person, you're enjoying that. I mean, it is. And I told you, don't matter, and it doesn't matter where you're watching me in the world. Okay, Bitcoin is the answer over any of your fiat currency, whatever dollar you carry anywhere you are in the world. Bitcoin is way more important than any dollar that is part of your country. You see El Salvador? They've been buying Bitcoin like crazy, right? They buy one Bitcoin a day. Did you know that? The country buys one Bitcoin a day. Their credit rating went from C to B plus. Okay. And they're up with like major countries. Okay. I think we went down. Our credit rating went down to I think it's A minus or B plus or something like that. So ours went down. Theirs is going up. And they're smart. They're adding Bitcoin to their reserves. We're not. We actually have a lot of Bitcoin that we have confiscated. But the idiots that run our country, they want to sell the Bitcoin. It's just really stupid. But anyway, and you're all. I just want to say you're welcome. For those of you that took the ride with us, for those of you that bought the dip, how many times were we talking about buying the dip over the last couple of years? And it looked like insanity, that you kept buying the dip and you kept buying the dip. And I know Brooklyn Rob reached out to me today on DM, and he was talking exactly about that because, the people that bought the dip have got some guts. You know what I mean? And because it's not, people buy when it's all going well, when it's exploding. And so congratulations to you out there. If you stuck strong with it and you bought Cardano all the way down to the bottom and now it's starting to come back up again, or whichever one, because most of the cryptos are way up right now. They are riding. A lot of us that bought all the way down to the dip, you're pretty much in the green already. And the bull run hasn't really started yet. This is just like what you've seen now. This is just like a precursor to the bull run. This is like the appetizer before you even get to the entree. Okay? I mean, the explosion that's coming is just absolutely crazy. And I'm not talking about Mount St. Helens. I'm talking about the explosion that's coming is nasty. Did you hear about Mount St. Helens? Did you hear about it? Do you know anything about Mount St. Helens and its past? In Washington, when it imploded and all that, apparently it's I'll get to the story in a minute, but it's back to having like 50 earthquakes a day. So they're afraid that it might be on the brink of busting out again. Yeah, Keynes, you say the bull cycle is officially here. You're right. It's just starting, but man, this is nothing. This is nothing. Okay? And that's the beauty. Those of us that bought all the way down to the bottom, like we got Ethereum at 900 and 1,000 and 1,100. It's at 2,000 now. We got Bitcoin down at 16.5 and 17 and 18. It's at 37, 36 something now because it, came back a little like it always does, and then it'll continue its climb, but that's kind of the way it is, If you really look at it, like Cardano is like at, it went down to, I know I got it as low as 24 cents, if I'm correct. And Cardano right now, if you bought it all the way down to 24 cents, it's at 36. That's 50% rise right there. From 24 to 36. That's a 50% increase. You know what I'm saying? So all these kind of things, if you bought H-bar, you bought it all the way down, the bottom was like 4.4, 4.5. It's at 6 cents now. Everything has climbed up. Chainlink was all the way down in the $5 to $6 range. It's over $14 right now. I'm a big polka dot guy. It's gone up a little bit, but not too much. But if you got it as low as $3 something to $4, it's almost close to $5 now. So it's starting to come back. Illuvium went all the way down to $38, $40. It's at $88 now. It's more than doubled. So if you hung in there, Mana, the central lane, got down to like 28 cents, 27 cents. It's up to 40 now. So a lot of people are making some really good money. Immutable X went down to like 44 cents. It's up to 84 cents right now. I mean, we could go on. Solana went down all the way to $10. It's at 44. That's 4 times your money. Okay. So what am I looking at? Which one? Robert Martin. Wow, he went off. I don't blame him. I bought 1 Bitcoin for 100 back in the day. Good investment. Pats himself on the back. Nice job. Good for you. That's not the one you want me to read? Yeah, no, I don't do Dogecoin. No. I do things that actually have like real utility, my man. Doge has no utility. That's only Elon keeping that shit alive. I do have SHIB, and SHIB has utility. You know what I mean? They've got a metaverse now. They've got NFTs. They've got a blockchain. They're trying to also add DeFi to it. So once they start adding that to it, that will increase. Which, by the way, that's the beauty of Cardano. Why it's also going up, because its total value locked is just skyrocketing because more and more businesses are building on the Cardano blockchain. But this is one of those things, when we talked about it, right, Sean? 2 years ago, I'm saying, hey, this is for 24, 25. It's right, in 22 and 23, I've been telling you, no, this is down the line, 24, 25. Well, it already started. This is the precursor, okay? And in 24, right around the corner, it's going to absolutely explode. Okay, I've been telling you this for a while now. Okay, I'm telling you what's coming up. I'm telling you what Biden and the government's going to do, because they want to get reelected. So next year, when 24 rolls around, they'll start lowering the rates. They'll start printing money, and things are going to go wild, and markets are going to go wild, and people are going to be happy, and then they'll vote and they'll get back in. And I've been telling you this for a while, that they've been keeping it hard for a while, and then next year they will unleash the Kraken. And, this is all pretty much pre-planned out. If you follow the economy like I do, and follow the news, and you understand what these Democrats and Republicans are really all about, you know what I mean? The more you understand the politics and don't take a side, so that way you can actually really understand it, you will be able to take advantage of it. You know what I mean? But I've been telling you for a while, this is about 24, 25. Load up, baby. Brooklyn Rob was in. Says, Crypto Bro, we are killing it. Jamie Zorrilla in San Jose. Another beautiful Thursday. Looking forward to another great show. Remember to smash the like button. Omar says, Big O and Sean, you guys are the best. Your thoughts on the SI article about Miami having a third wide receiver problem? Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw this earlier. They don't have a third wide receiver problem. That's silliness. SI, I would imagine it was either Poop or Omar that wrote it. I didn't see it, but if that's the case, I don't agree with it. That's just, again, off week. Get you guys to think, I'm sure, it's just one of those articles. Do they have one? Because this, that, whatever, you can spin stats however you want. I don't see the problem that when you say something like that, I get what they're doing. They need clicks, and they gotta, that's part of the whole thing. So that's part of SI and everything else. If you work for the Herald or SI or Sports Illustrated or Sunset or Palm Beach Post or whatever, your editors and all that, they want movement. So they want you to write stuff that, even if it's not true, even if it's not even close to being accurate, but it stirs up the conversation. And because Dolphins, the subject Dolphins, stirs up any conversation, there you have that silliness of third wide. Do you think that McDaniel looks like the kind of guy that wants to keep the same 3 wide receivers on the field? No, I doubt it. Craycraft will be back. He's your most complete wide receiver. So he will be the third guy that you'll use a lot. And then all the other guys will be complementary pieces like they're supposed to be. You'll use Berrios for some things. You should use Claypool for others, along with Cedric Wilson, because they all have a different skill set. And you'll be facing different teams with different corners. Some will have tall corners inside. Some will have short corners inside. Some will have slow corners inside. Some will have inexperienced corners inside. And you will use that third receiver accordingly. And if you're going to run the ball, you're going to use your better blocking wide receivers, including your third wide receiver. So that's why it's all silliness talk. It is nothing, just to get you to think and just so you can click the article and read it. But in the end, it's really nothing to it. They don't have a third wide receiver problem. I'm sorry. Is that like the thing in the NFL that everybody's got locked down 3 wide receivers that for sure those are your 3? Oh, dude. Lots of people rotate that third guy. Hell, some teams are rotating the number 2 guy. You know what I mean? So, no, that's not an issue. So, there you go. I'll answer that. Not a big deal. 72 Fins logo says, how can I learn about crypto? Listen to this show, dude. I've been trying to teach you about crypto for a couple of years now. I give you guys information on crypto all the time, dude. All the time. George, cryptos are us. Cryptos, the letter R and us. He's an Asian guy. He's very level-headed. I think he's one of the guys that, for people that want to learn about crypto, I think he's fantastic. Crypto Casey, Casey. She's also very responsible. She's got black hair. And she's a very extremely intelligent person. She understands our banking system and the way money works. And she's incredibly knowledgeable when it comes to crypto. So I think Crypto Casey is another one that I respect, that you can learn. And it's not some of these idiots that just are trying to get clicks and trying to, add drama to everything. George and Casey, they don't deal with that bullshit. They just call things like they see them, like, the way I am. I like that. They're not trying to, get you to buy something or anything. They don't do that kind of stuff. Lisa says, got Bitcoin. Go. Damn right. Brian Walter says, did you see Bitcoin jumped over 37,000? It went to 2,000 from a couple of days. From me and my girlfriend are loving it since she is a crypto trader and investor. Yep. It went up to 37,800 at one point. So it shows you it's there. We'll be at 40 soon. Ray Sosa's in. John Padilla. Jay Gelfin is in. I hate that you were right about Hero. He's an injury waiting to happen. Yeah, Jay, I get a lot. I get that a lot. I hate that you were right. I get that a lot. Happens to me every once in a while. It's just, it's what I tell you. I wasn't worried about Tyler's offense, right? It's what I tell you. I only worry about his durability. That's it. That's really what I always worry about with Tyler. And when I saw that last time, and he had an injury before that when he got stepped on and he left, and then he came back, and then he ends up twisting his ankle. It's like the poor kid is the young version of Teron Armstead without the miles. It's a shame, dude. It really is. And I'll get to the Heat victory last night and a way for you to make money. True Fin fan says Tyler Hero's injury-prone player who will never live up to his contract. I've seen this movie plenty of times. Nobody can argue with you until he proves us wrong. It's kind of what it is. A Chan, Finn's MVP. Yeah, I don't think so, but it's nice. The bull cycle is officially here, says Canes Fly. Gus 1388 is in the house. Steven Gonzalez, Dude 67. Robert Martin is in Winnipeg, Canada. Nice. Robert Martin says, any thoughts on the game in Germany this weekend? Which is the one in Germany? I don't know. It's the Patriots? Oh, the Colts and the Patriots. The one that Ben Volen thinks he might get fired if he loses. I think the Colts might win that game barely, maybe. It's I'll tell you this, it's not something I really want to watch. I got to tell you, it's like tonight's game. Holy shit, dude. You kidding me?
This is the one game where if I wake up early enough, I'll catch it. But I'm not waking up early to watch football.
Yeah. Oh, amen. Yes. I'll wake up and it's already on for sure. Yeah, definitely. Jamie Zorri out in San Jose says, hello, my Finns family. This season is going too fast and not fast enough. That's crazy, but that's how it feels. Fins up, everybody. Remember to smash the like button. Thank you. Sweet Baby Ray says, Bam laid a 30 spot last night because the NBA motivated him by docking his 20th rebound. He was good last night, man. He was really good last night. He was hot with the mid-range jumper. And, remember I talked about efficiency. 9 of 20 for 22 points. I was like, you got to be better than that. 8 of 15 for 30 points. Now we're talking. Because he went 14 of 16 from the line. I mean, he was deadly from the line last night. It's like the announcers were like talking about how, this guy is just going to just nail the free throws pretty much. He had 11 rebounds, 3 blocks, did have 4 turnovers overall, but the ball was in his hands so much, you can understand. But he was terrific last night. You got a great game out of Lowry, last night to kind of get into this game a little bit. He scored an amazing 17 points on 4 of 7 from three-point land, 11 rebounds, 9 assists. He also had 4 turnovers. Butler had 15. Highsmith had 14. Jaquez with the game-sealing three-pointer, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 2 steals, and that huge 3. Do you know what I thought of when he hit that 3? You want to know what I thought of? And I'm not going to go. No, Mike Miller. That's funny. No. But I am thinking of a rookie. I'm thinking of a rookie standing at the 3-point line against the Charlotte Hornets, hitting a big shot. You know who I'm talking about? Dwayne Wade. And so remember in his first year, he early on, first month, maybe first couple of weeks, whatever it was, we're getting to know Dwayne Wade, and that first year it's with Lamar and Butler, right? Caron Butler, right? Isn't it that first year, if I'm correct? And he hits that 3 from the baseline, from the side, for the big game, for the big shot, and you win, and you're like, man, this kid is looking good. And again, first of all, I'm not saying Jaquez is Wade. What I'm telling you by watching Jaquez is that no moment is too big for that kid. That's what I like about him. He is a calm, cool, collective dude. And all he needs to do is get experience, let the body develop even a little bit more than what it is already, let the mind develop a little bit more than already is, let the IQ grow more than it already is. I really love what I see from Jaime Jaquez, bro. I mean, that's cool. 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 steals last night in 21 minutes. And obviously with Tyler out, he probably should get more playing time. You know what I'm saying? But I like everything about it. And what he did to LeBron the other night, like he was like stout against the Peterbilt truck. That was good, man. That stood out to me. And then obviously with Tyler getting injured, and then in the post game, he says he heard crunches and cracks in his ankle. Yeah, no, that's not good. That's definitely not good. Not good at all. Not good at all. Now, I'll tell you what was great last night. We made you some money, right? We took the Heat minus 1.5, so we made you money last night if you went with us. And what's that? What's that called? Playback TV crap? What's that called? So apparently there's this new thing, Playback TV. I've signed up for it, and I think I'm going to start doing it maybe for Heat games. I not for a Dolphins because I can't do pre and post and talk for 3 hours during the game too. It's just too much, dude. Okay, it's too much. But for the Heat games, I might do this. I might do a little Playback TV, and I can walk you through this. I was on the Hard Rock app last night. Okay, I had an account prior, so I heard that new people that have signed up, they're like on a waiting list or something. A friend of mine signed up, and he's like, "No, dude, I'm on a waiting list." And so, okay, but I'm able to bet right away. And so last night, I don't know. I've told you this before. Again, those of you that just listen to segments, you miss a lot of stuff. And I told you that I was making a killing with the live betting because I treated it like a stock market in a way. So last night I took the Heat minus 1.5, and in the third quarter, early on, it got to 7.5 points plus 7.5 for the Grizz, and I wanted to hit it right, and where I went to hit it, it went down to 6.5, and it gave me the option. Hey, do you want to take the bet or not? And I said, you know what, with the Heat's freaking fourth quarter, right? I'm going to take the 6.5. Midway through the third quarter, the Heat extended their lead at one point. I forgot how much it was, and the line it sailed to plus 8.5 for the Memphis Grizzlies. So I then doubled up my bet there. I doubled what I took at plus 6.5 and minus 1.5, and I doubled it at 8.5. Comprende, compadre? You following me on this, right? So I can cover myself. And so how did the game end? Sure enough, they made a comeback. It was a tight game. They pulled away at the end, and it ended up at 6 points. So my bet at 6.5 and my bet at 8.5 won. And then my bet for the Heat winning 1.5, because I felt good about the Heat winning. What I didn't feel good about if I had to give a lot of points. But during the game, it turned that way where the line was going where, okay, we're giving Memphis a lot of points. And then that's when I took it in. And I think that that's what I might start doing for the Heat games, is that I might start doing that where I go on Playback TV. Not that I'm going to talk for the entire game. I might be watching a lot, but I'll be watching the gambling and then walk you through it. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy that loves crypto, loves to gamble, loves to make you money. That's it. But if you lose, you lose. I'm sorry. It's not on me. Okay. I'm just saying you make your own decisions. You know what I'm saying? Even though we've gone pretty well, we've been making money for people for a while now. Okay. Hey, by the way, those of you that are making, nice cash there on crypto, don't forget Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. You can make a Bitcoin donation to the show. Plenty of you have been benefiting from our crypto advice. Those of you that didn't take advantage, well, that's your problem, not mine. But, you can give us some love on Cash App there, Cash Big O Show, and send us a little Bitcoin for all your earnings. Anyway, let's see. Hey, Big, recommend me an altcoin. Oh, okay. HBAR is still really good. It's super cheap. It's at 6 cents. The feds are going to use HBAR for their payments. The entire world will be on the blockchain. Okay? I don't care if you're Walmart. I don't care if you're Jiffy Lube. I don't care if you're Hialeah Park. I don't care if you're Acura Pembroke Pines. The entire world will be on the blockchain. And everything will be tokenized. Whether you want to believe it or not, it's what's coming. Let me tell you something. A couple things, my man. HBAR right now, there's a little bit of a dip. It went down 5 cents, 5%. It's at 5.75. It was over 6.1 cents. So it's down 0.4 of a penny. That's That's actually a good time to get right back in there. So Hedera Hashgraph is one that I like. You can accumulate that. It's still at a hell of a bargain right now. ADA, I think Cardano is still at a hell of a bargain at 35 cents. Okay, it went all the way down to 28 or 29 cents, I believe. That was the lowest, and look where it's at right now. So it's not that far off. This is something that was closer to $3, and it wasn't even ready. Now it's ready. Now it has everything. I love ADA right now. I think it's still one hell of a bargain. I think Polygon at 79 cents is still an absolute bargain. Let's see, what else would I say? If you want to take a long shot, okay? I'm telling you this is a for sure thing, but artificial intelligence is going to be enormous. Alethea Liquid Intelligence Token, ALI is the acronym for it. They are obviously an AI company, and they bring NFTs to life and things. They're the company that is going to, when you go to see a movie, you won't have somebody there. You'll be talking to a NFT that has a life of its own, and it's going to tell you, what do you want to see today? Okay, I want to see Star Wars Part 87. And they'll give you the 2 tickets and you'll move on. This is the kind of company that creates that AI stuff. And by the way, Mark Cuban's part of it. And the last time I told you about this, it was at 0.8 cents. It's now at 1.4 cents, so it's up 0.6 of a penny. It got up to 9 pennies. And I told you when it was at 0.8 cents. So it 10 timed. Okay. Then it came back down like a lot of things. And I've been reloading up now again after I took my profits at 9, went back down. It's going to go. Now you're going to have to be a little patient and wait, but I think it's going to fly, and it has not exploded yet. So this is a good time, I think, to be able to load up on Alethea artificial intelligence. Let me see. Those are some there that I can give you that I like. Again, I am not a financial advisor. Just so you'll know. Okay. Just a guy that loves crypto. What else? Can't tell you injective protocol anymore because that ship sailed when I told you when it was $1.43. Now it's $15. So there you go. By the way, Essential Moving Experts. We love talking about Sean Williams and the boys. Moving was never so easy, man. Please give them a ring. They've got over 1,700 happy customers that have used it, have experienced Essential Moving Experts. 386-213-4054. Their headquarters is in Daytona, but they handle the entire country. So it doesn't matter if you're moving your home, your business from one end of the country to the other, from one state to another, from inside the county, inside the city. They will handle it for you. Marcel Louis Jacques, one of our guys from ESPN, he used Essential Moving Experts to move from Dade to Broward County. So you can call them and tell them that Big O sent you. Flat rates, no surprise charges. 386-213-4054. All right. Anyway, so you got that. What else do we have? Michael Lehman says, I didn't buy during the dip, but held all the way through about 46K Bitcoin average and maybe 115.8. Yeah, Michael, you did. I hate to say it, bro. You made an enormous mistake, but I get it. You bought, it went down, you panicked, and you didn't have the guts of a thief to continue to buy because you were scared and you didn't have conviction. And I can also tell, to be quite honest, Michael, okay, because I want you to learn your lesson. You didn't bother to actually really study, because if you would have studied and understood what Bitcoin was all about, you would have bought it all the way down to 16.5 and would have kept loading up all the way up, and you would be green already. at this point. So when you invest, it's nice to hear tips from other people, but you need to read for yourself what you're investing in, at that time. I got ADA too, around 90 something cents. That was my initial price. And I bought it all the way through $1.14, which I see you got it to $1.15, right around the same thing. But then when it went all the way down, I didn't stop buying. And so I lowered my average price down to I think around 40 cents, right around there, 38 cents. Yeah, right around there, about 38 cents, actually. Now that I remember, because it went down all the way to 28, if I'm correct. So I think it's I'm 10 cents off of that. I think it is. I think it's 38 from 20. Yes, I think it's 38 if I remember correctly. And so I understood that Cardano was not ready back in the last bull run. They weren't completely built out. Now they have their DeFi. Now their business after business is building on the blockchain. Now they have a metaverse. Now they have stablecoin. Hell, they're adding a second chain now that it's called Smoke or something, and they have another utility coin that's coming with it. So they're set now. They have NFTs, all that. So instead of $3, I think Cardano's going to go to $6 or $7 when it's all said and done. But now they have the tools they didn't have then when they even went to $3. But these are the things, Michael, you got to take the time to really study. I know we all work and everything, but if you're going to invest, please learn about what you're investing in. Yes, sir.
From the Miami Heat.
Yes.
Injury update, Tyler Hero has been diagnosed with a grade 2 ankle sprain. He will be in a walking boot for 10 days and will be reevaluated in 2 weeks. We will have a better idea of his return to play after 2-week reevaluation.
Yeah, he's out about a month. By the time he comes back and has to get back in a groove, so he's out at least about a month, I think. Nyborg says 1980, Mount St. Helens erupted. There's a video. Yes, there is. Listen to Big O on company time. Can't beat that. There you go, Sneak Attack. Yeah, Robert Martin, no Doge for me. Never. Lenny Pena. Howdy. Howard, Howie do it. Any bets on the Hard Rock app tonight? I have not really looked at it, and I'm more of the live bet guy than anything else. Let's see. Kane says L2, L3, ZK roll-up smart wallet, all-in-one decentralized exchange. Yes, sir. You are correct. Marcus Shabbat. Hear me out now, Big O. Is it me or does McCochin and his post-game pressers make me feel like everything's going to be okay? I know proof will be in the tapioca, but never had that with Flo, Cameron, or Philbin. Yeah, he's not going to go out there and say the world is ending. He's always going to spin it, but I think everything is all right, dude. You know what I mean? I think McDaniel will figure all this out. He's smart enough, dude. He'll figure it out. I don't vote because nothing ever gets better. I can't argue with you on that one, bro. Mr. Hill also got married. Yes, Tyreek got Hill. Tyreek Hill got married. Yes. I heard about it in Canada. Okay. Big O, do you think the 49ers beat the Jags in Jacksonville on Sunday? I don't know, man. I don't know. They're not playing well. I don't know about that one. I know I wouldn't bet on it. Either way, Frankie Fresco is in the house. Andy Jackson says, FOMO alert, 90% chance of a dozen Bitcoin ETFs coming to the market all at once. Oh, my God, cannot wait. Billions will be pouring into Bitcoin. Claypool will be a good third receiver once he gets the playbook down. Well, apparently he's pretty slow at getting the playbook. Hero's body is made out of Lay's potato chips. The guy's not durable. No, you're right. You are correct, sir. Can't argue with that. Beer Noob, thank you for the love in the super chat. Now, is it time for low cap game coins? 30 to 50 times. Yes. You just gotta hope you hit the right one. Man, Chainlink that's one that I've been on for a long time, but it went down to $5, $6. It's at $15 now. So I can't tell you, even though I think Chainlink's going to go way up, but now you're buying it at 15. You know what I mean? And it was, when I'm telling you buy the dip, we were in the valley, deep in the valley, and it's hard. It takes discipline. That's what I was trying to tell Michael, that he bought Bitcoin at 46 and then he saw it go down and then he panicked and didn't buy anymore. I have a buddy of mine, one of my best friends, did the same thing. He bought some crypto, but he bought it in the bull run of last time around. And then when it went down here in the bear run, he did not bother to buy again. And that's again because he doesn't know what he bought in the first place. And so that's why he didn't believe in it, and he didn't continue to lower his overall price by buying it all the way down. That's what you do as an investor. You buy it all the way down so you can lower your overall price. So if you believe in it, it's going to come back. And when it does, you will end up winning in a big time way. Especially those of you, I'm a working stiff, so my money is never going to be anything I can ever retire on. But those of you that have some money, man, you could have made so much money here in this bull run. Oh my God. Those of you that have money, you could have made a ton. J-Town says, I'm wearing my Bitcoin shirt too. Well, hey, bro, we got to teach the peoples. All right, he's ready to go. David Furones and our Welt and Realm Miami Dolphins report.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Realm Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
All right. David, I don't think you guys have a Bitcoiner inside the media room for the Dolphins, right? I don't think so, right?
What are we investing in it? Are you asking me, or?
Yeah. I don't think so. From all the guys I've had on, none of them have invested in Bitcoin, but I haven't had all of them on. Like, I don't know, Beasley. I don't know if he's or I'm not sure. I haven't asked him. And I haven't had, I've had Hal on, but not that he and I are going to be talking about crypto. So I'm wondering, because I've never heard none of you guys have ever asked me anything about it. So I can tell you're not crypto guys.
No. I mean, I fooled around with a little bit like Ethereum, bought low, sold high. I was in on that Dogecoin when it sprang up, and then got to selling a little bit. It would dip, and then bought a little bit on the dip, things like that. So
you don't have any now?
Let me see. I might have some Ethereum Classic, maybe.
Oh God, no!
Yeah.
Really? You bought Ethereum Classic? Yeah, I can tell you really didn't talk to me. Okay.
I don't know what I'm doing, but
I would have not allowed you to buy Ethereum Classic. That's what I would have.
Why is that? What am I doing wrong?
Oh, you got to get Ethereum, not Ethereum Classic, my man.
Ethereum. I did have that too.
Ethereum Classic is Ethereum when the chain broke. They had to then start a new chain, and it became Ethereum, and then the old chain became Ethereum Classic, and then the people picked up the old chain, and then they kind of tweaked whatever was left, and they have their they have businesses going on it, but it's not like Ethereum. Ethereum's the big dog. It just crossed 2,000 now.
Yeah, and it's very little what I had in Ethereum Classic compared to Ethereum, which which was a little hefty sum when I picked it up and then sold it at one of its peaks, and then I'll have to check the transaction history to see where it's now, but I did pretty well on it.
Right. I just wish you guys would have stuck with it, bro, and bought all the way down. But it's hard. It's hard. It's not it takes a lot of guts to do what some of us have done the last couple of years, continuing to buy in the middle of a bear market when all it does is go down and down and down. And you're like, well, wait a minute, bro, what's going on here? I'm just losing money. You're really not losing, because until you sell, you don't lose. Until you sell, you don't win either, by the way. You know what I mean? So you really don't lose until, the end. But
you're only losing.
I've never heard, every time I've been to Dolphins camp, and everybody knows I'm a crypto guy, I've never heard anybody strike up any kind of crypto conversation with me, so I don't think any of the guys there. So none of you, by the way, you all have poor foresight. By the way, just want you guys to know that. Okay, just financially, you guys have poor foresight there. You could have set yourselves up there. But
hey, I'm a net positive. When I started getting into investing in the pandemic, I have an investment banker friend in New York, and I just started asking him random bullshit, and got into some stocks and a few other ETFs, and then eventually dipped into a little bit of crypto. Not that I even have that much money to play with anyway, but hey, overall, I'm up. I'm up in the long run.
Okay, all right, there you go. All right, my suggestion: never stop buying Bitcoin. That's my suggestion. Even right now, before it completely explodes. Okay?
Where's it at right now? Because I haven't checked.
It hit 37 today. It went right back down to 36.34. So right now we're headed to 40 plus, bro. I'm telling you, we're headed.
Okay, and I remember it being like half of that at some point, right?
Yeah, it was at 16.5 in January 1st.
Yeah.
So it is up about 130%.
Wow.
Yeah. It's fun. All right, so let's get to it, bro. Injury wise, it looks like they're going to get a Chan back and they're going to get Robert Hunt back, right? For the Raiders game. You would gamble on that one, right?
I would think so. Hunt, I mean, he missed that whole week of practice leading up to the Chiefs game, so I guess you still have to see him come back and see how he deals with the hamstring, make sure he's all right. But I think Achane, it's been trending that way the whole time. That I think very early on in his IR stint, it was identified it wouldn't take long that he'd maybe just be a candidate for the 4-week minimum, actually similar to how Teron Armstead just was. So that's a good sign, and he gets the bye anyway, so it's sort of an extra week regardless. So he really gets 5 weeks for the price of 4 there for Achane.
What does Mike McDaniel need to work on personally for him as a coach? If you had to critique, what would it be?
Yeah, let's see. Well, we've still seen some of the game management things come up here and there. I mean, that was a huge deal in the Buffalo playoff game. So I think correcting some of those, maybe not getting so there's a better word, but what I want to say is cute with the play calling sometimes when sometimes just a simple play call will do. So the thing about him is that he is this innovative, creative, genius offensive whiz. So that's sort of the gamble that you have with him, is that there is a lot to gain from him trying innovative things offensively with his play calling. And when it works, it's splendid. But then sometimes you just want that simple play call, that 3rd and 1, just run it up the middle to pick up that yard play call that sometimes you don't see, because he does get a little cute mixing things up in the play call.
Like Kansas City, when you're gouging them at the end with Mostert, and then you go away from it, which there was no reason to go away with it with the timeouts and the time you had. You should have kept until they stop it. Sometimes, you know what? You just got to kiss it, like they say. Keep it simple, stupid. No, you don't have to put too much thought in it. After those back-to-back runs, brother, do it again and see if they stop. And if they don't, oh my God, the next run might have been a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm with you there. We talked about it when I was in Frankfurt after that game, that that was a perfect situation to just keep pounding them. It worked 2 times, a 25-yard gain, a 19-yard gain. You're already in field goal territory, needing a touchdown, obviously, but just to emphasize that you're driving. And then you switch it up, go to the pass, incomplete. Now you're in 3rd and 10. Now you have to pass, and then you actually have a touchdown there, but then you have a miscommunication where now you're up against it. This miscommunication ends up leading to that you're in on 4th down, and then 4th down you have a miscue between Connor Williams, Tua Tagovailoa. We've had these snap miscues before, so it's just you put yourself up against the ropes when you could have had a 2nd and manageable, 3rd and manageable, and then have different play calls available to you. So that would have been a situation where that would have been ideal, certainly.
All right. What do we know about Craycraft?
Craycraft, I mean, he has now had 2 solid weeks of practice since being designated to return. So now, once they come back from the bye, he'd be right up there on that 21-day window. So I would imagine that would just be that Tuesday announcement. So if I've got my calendar correct in my mind, yeah, that would just be the Tuesday where he just gets activated. So then a move would just have to be made to create that spot. But yeah, I mean, I think he's on track from everything we've heard, and it would be right up against the window anyway, so it'd be time to bring him aboard.
I think having Craycraft there, it's not so much that the obvious. He knows the offense. He knows everything to do. He's a great blocking wide receiver, so he'll help the run game. But I think also having Craycraft there will show Berrios, will show Cedric Wilson, will show Claypool too, what to do in this system and how to handle all this stuff. And so you have a good guy to be a teacher for some of these guys that, clearly are still learning the system, because we saw Cedric make a bad decision against the Chiefs and it cost him. And then obviously Claypool he's had trouble just getting on the field, and he's been here already several weeks. They can't even figure out a way to give him a couple plays, a package to get him out there.
Yeah, I think Claypool will continue to just slowly ramp up, although now Craycraft getting back in the mix may complicate things for him as well. This was always a question, is that wide receiver 3 in that receiving core, just a lot of competition for it, different situations where different guys can do certain things well, and who would be in on certain packages. So Craycraft solidifies that spot a little bit. A guy that's familiar with the offense, a guy who blocks well at the receiver position, which is a prerequisite in this Mike McDaniel offense. So that's one way that he is going to be getting his playing time on the field. And that's one way for a guy like Claypool that he could earn more playing time is he has had some flashes of some strong blocking when a play's going to his side in his limited snaps. So if he can show more of that, that's how he can get more offensive snaps.
All right, Furones, when you look at the bye week for this week for them, and then obviously, do you expect any kind of changes that they could be working on in the second half? Since this is the time where you might tweak something, what could be tweaked?
I don't think too much needs to be tweaked. You have looking at both sides of the ball. Let's start with the offense. I mean, you have your guys say you're going to get Devon Achane back, so that's already just a huge boost in itself. Now, if he was still going to be out a few more weeks, I would have said one thing is I don't want to see Savon Ahmed out snapping Jeff Wilson as the number 2 running back. So you have Raheem Mostert, who will get the lion's share before Achane comes back. Now maybe it'll be sort of a split, and I'd like to see that, but before then, that's one change I would have liked to see made. Really, it's looking at that left guard spot. Isaiah Wynn still has several weeks left, and now Robert Jones. Well, and if he comes back, we don't even know that. Robert Jones now he's got
the Isaiah Wynn one doesn't look good, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Robert Jones now, he came down with his injury, but assuming Robert Hunt is back in the mix, then that could just simplify it where it's Lester Cotton's spot right back there, especially now that you do have Connor Williams back and Teron Armstead back. So those are sort of changes in their own way of just getting guys back. Look at the defensive side. Well, now you have Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howard together for the first time. So you just had that. I think it's just building off of that because everywhere else now you have that Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips, edge rushing combination working. You know what you're going to get out of Christian Wilkins and Zach Sealer. And then, if you can get something from Raekwon Davis, and then the Jerome Bakers and David Long has been coming along in this in the inside linebacker core under Vic Fangio. So sort of just having it come together. Now you're going to have Kader Kohu, who has been starting and even in one game was the number 1 corner against Philadelphia. Now he is slotted in as your slot corner in the nickel package, which is just tremendous when you have Jalen Ramsey, Xavier Howard, and Kader Kohu just strictly as the slot corner. So I think it's just building continuity now that you have some of these guys back from injury.
By the way, you can follow him on Twitter at David Furones _ catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. David, I thought last year, obviously once you get Fangio, for sure you part ways with Boyer. But I wasn't one of those guys, you got to fire Boyer, all that. I didn't really blame Boyer that much because I thought his thing was decimated. And overall, with all the injuries, I actually thought he did all right. And his defense kept his team in every single game pretty much. So I thought he did all right. The guy that I thought you should have fired right when the season ended was Danny Crossman. And I know a lot of you guys have given your mid-season grades. That was a thing for a lot of writers, here, the mid-season grade. What is the mid-season grade for Danny Crossman? And where did you stand with Danny Crossman last year? And where do you stand with him now? Has there been any improvement? Should they keep him right now if he continues at the pace that he's presented so far in the first half of the year?
Yeah, let's see. I mean, it's a great Danny Crossman first half. Maybe I give him slightly above average, so in the B minus C plus range, so not a C per se. But yeah, I think the special teams unit improved in its own right. Just you get a return guy like Braxton Berrios in there, who he's going to be solid there. He hasn't broken off a big run, maybe here and there, but just getting you that 10 to 15 yard punt return. If he does decide to send out a kick return, making sure you're on the plus side of what you would have had if you just take a touchback. He's just smart in that regard. Secure, fair catcher of the ball, which we saw plenty of when he was at the University of Miami return man. Bringing in Jake Bailey. He's been up and down. He would have some shanked punts here and there, but recently he had a couple inside the 20, one to the 3, one to the 9 against the Chiefs. So that was good to see. He had a lot of action in that game, and a lot of other games he hasn't had that much action. So it's kind of been you either see a lot from him in that game or you just don't see much at all from your punter. Jason Sanders, he's made his recent kicks. I know he had the early season struggles. Still haven't seen him from 50 plus, so that's one thing that still needs to be crossed off. Danny Crossman has voiced confidence in him, so ultimately he's going to be judged by what Jason Sanders does because that's his guy too. So. Blake Ferguson has been solid as a long snapper. The coverage units, one will squirt through, but overall been okay, a lot of them. So, I would just say compared to last year, which I think last year there were a lot of blunders, I think it's cut down a little bit. So I would offer him a grade that shows them some improvement since last season.
I'm canning his ass at the end of the year if I had to.
Well, if you go by he should have been gone last year, then you can.
I'm not impressed still by him.
Yeah.
I'm just not. It's just not a good unit. Yeah. And maybe I've been spoiled with good units for decades now with different guys that have been pretty good coaches. I have just not been impressed enough with Danny Crossman. All right, so I know you're headed.
I was there last season, thinking he should go. Same as Josh Boy. I was kind of in the same boat. I know you weren't there on board with going, but I felt, the two were hand in hand in that regard. And but Crossman kept his job, and I would grade him a little higher so far this year than overall last year. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, most people were like you. They wanted to get rid of Josh. That's for sure. All right, follow him on Twitter at David Furones _. I know, David, you're headed to a wedding. So you're not going to be writing any articles about the wedding, but are you working on anything here, you slacker, over the next couple of days?
I'll come up with something that I got to send in tomorrow, even though I'm already going to be off. So once I log off with you and before we have our groomsmen rehearsal dinner with the whole group, then I'm going to come up with something. So check the sunsentinel.com tomorrow. I will have something up that'll go up tomorrow. I'll send it in some point tonight. And then, but I still have to figure out what that is because I've had a bunch of errands to run ahead of this, getting ready, grabbing a tux earlier today, or a suit at Mr. Tux. So a nice little rental that, we're going in matching attire for the groomsmen. So yeah, it'll be a weekend cruise. So my mind has been on that. I'm glad you haven't hit me with any wild opinions or hot takes that I've had to.
There aren't really a lot of hot button topics right now going on with the Dolphins at all. It's kind of pretty, it's almost kind of like we know what the deal is, bro. Start beating the better teams and McDaniel sharpen your shit up on game day. And that's it. That's pretty much it. And, they're getting healthy and that's fantastic. So, but they don't have issues. One thing that Chris Greer talked about a couple of years ago when he took over and he said, no more dysfunction. You know, once he got rid of Flo, the dysfunction's gone, absolutely gone. And that's another thing that we don't have to deal with covering the Dolphins or fans out there, because we always would have to deal with some level of dysfunction. So there really aren't any real bad stories, and there isn't any dysfunction going on. It's a different Dolphins team, bro.
Yeah. These players, they buy into Mike McDaniel. They like being coached by him. I think they want to do right by him, prove him right that his style can work, so that it's not something where, okay, well, we saw Mike McDaniel style didn't produce the results. Now we have to move back to some sort of disciplinarian approach. No, I think the players want to prove him right that his style is effective, and so they make sure to do everything they can and help hold themselves accountable.
By the way, if you want a story, one of the things I talked about last week, and that I think I talked about it maybe on Monday, or no, I think it might have been on Friday. The impressive part about the way Chris Greer designed this roster, and I'm sure Marvin Allen and McKenzie, all these guys had a deal in it, but there's a lot of leadership. There's a ton of leadership all over the team. You added Jalen Ramsey, to go with guys like Teron Armstead, and Tua is a leader himself. And, you start looking around and start looking at all the, Javon Holland, young and all, that guy is just loaded with leadership qualities to him. You know what I mean? And so you start looking at a lot of the characters in that locker room, and there's a lot of maturity, a lot of professionalism in there. You know what I mean? And I think that's pretty cool. Even a guy like Craycraft is a pro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's actually a pretty cool thing. It's a nice foundation of this team, the amount of leadership that they have.
Yeah. When they come out with their captains, every single one of them is like, yeah, he should be on there. He should be on there. He should be on there. And then you even have some left over because you just did it to so many spots. There's only that many. So a lot of guys.
Jalen Phillips carries himself like a young leader, bro. He sets a great example. His effort is second to none. You know what I'm saying? And, Chubb handled the heat early on. He wasn't performing well, but he didn't fold or anything. He stayed, stout throughout the whole thing. I just think that's pretty cool that when you start looking at Rob Hunt, man, you know what I mean? In his own way is a leader too, the way he plays and carries himself. So there's a lot of that on this team that I think it's really, really cool.
That stuff is contagious.
Yeah,
because if you see the top players perform and behave in a leadership style and a leadership role, then, like, for example, when players see Tyreek Hill is there rushing to support Tua to the utmost, if Tyreek Hill can do that, then anyone else speaking, they're going to say, who am I to disregard Tua or discount him? And then, so I'm going to express my confidence in him as well. So that sort of just trickles down throughout the roster.
Yeah, and Tyreek's also practicing hard all the freaking time. So that's also setting an example. I'm just saying there's a lot of good character on this team. There really isn't a lot of like idiots. They don't take a lot of chances on morons. Every once in a while, they'll take a chance on a guy that's had some issues, but they're outliers. It's not like the rosters. It's not like you're walking into the Cowboys where they may have 3 or 4 other of those knuckleheads walking around, and they're trying to, be a building of psychologists and coaches at the same time. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I give them a lot of credit. There's a lot of leadership in that team.
Right. And it creates such a strong foundation where I know a lot of fans were worried when Robbie Chosen gets brought on. Oh, is he going to be a bad apple? An Eli apple, since I just said that word, Chase Claypool. And then, no, there's just such a strong foundation here that whoever you
running back for UM, the running back for UM that got in trouble with the law, and the poor kid has Walton. The kid has
Mark Walton.
Yeah, the poor kid has that kid has some issues, unfortunately, bro. He needed some help, and again, it didn't affect that roster because they've got a really good foundation in there. They bring character people, man. I give them a lot of credit in that sense.
That was a few years now. That one, Mark Walton has been a few years now.
Yeah. It's been a couple of years, but it doesn't matter. Those things have not affected the locker room overall because he's brought, one of the things I tell people when Flo got fired and when I was talking about him getting fired during the winning streak, the problem was there were too many people, fans, and even some media members. They were so hooked on the winning streak that they forgot about the losing streak that started the season. And so the front office, from the way I viewed it, the front office looked at Flo and said, we gave you more than enough talent to get to the playoffs, and you failed, bro. You're out of here. You don't work with us, and you can't even maximize this roster. Get the hell out of here. You can't even build a staff. And right now with McDaniel, that's why I kind of, talked about it earlier in the week. He's underachieving a little bit right now because he has the kind of roster that could have beaten the Chiefs, that could have beaten the Eagles, that should have been better prepared for the Bills, and he's the guy that has to be better prepared for some of those situations. And so it's, in a way, it's kind of the same situation of Flo right now. The front office gave you more than enough to win. Now you need to put it together and get it done. And that's kind of where, McDaniel is at right now. He's reached a point, but he needs to take them over that next hurdle. And he has the talent to do it. And that's kind of what happened with Flo that last year. Those people in the front office, they knew they had more talent than to win the games that they were going to win that year. They needed to win more. And that's why they knew they didn't have the right guy and they had to get rid of him.
Absolutely. And it leaves me kind of actually encouraged that there is still something to strive for beyond what's established right now. It is known. They know it, that they still have another level that they need to reach, and that they are getting slapped in the face so hard with this narrative that they haven't beaten these strong teams, these other contenders, because now, okay, there's something left for you to do. It's not like you won 70-20 against the Broncos and you could just say, we got it all figured out. No, you have to show that you can do not something to that level, but just win consistently against other contenders, and also take the show on the road too, because it's been road games when the team has not, specifically the offense, has not traveled.
Got it. All right, my brother. Follow him on Twitter at David Furones _. Catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. David, enjoy the wedding, my brother. Enjoy the weekend. We will catch up next week, my friend.
I will come back refreshed off a weekend cruise.
There you go. Enjoy, my friend. You be good out there. Thank you. There you go. David Furones, Welt and Rayom. They do it all. This law office is second to none. Some great human beings. Jeff and Dan are just absolutely golden human beings, okay? Not only are they exceptional lawyers, because I saw them crush the crap out of Progressive for us, because Progressive was not willing to really actually do what they're supposed to do, because that's what all these insurance companies, they're great at collecting your premium, but then when something happens to you, it's impossible to pull money out of them, and the adjusters they send aren't necessarily working for you. They're working for the insurance companies. Welt and Rayom has their own adjusters, so they can put the insurance companies in their place. So if you're dealing with bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, please call Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom. They know how to get it done. They got beautiful offices in Hollywood. They service all of South Florida. Anywhere in Florida, you can call them, man. And if you think you have a case but you don't know, the consultation's free. Call them, 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646 for Welt and Rayom.
This has been another session of the Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welt and Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welt and Rayom can help.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help. The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
To play after 2 weeks being reevaluated. What, they weren't hearing me? Okay. Oh, no sound. Oh, okay. So let's do this all over again since there was no sound. This is our 3A Graphics Sports Calendar, 980 West 22nd Street in Hialeah. Please call my guy, Alan Blanco. Amazing work. Excuse me. Your club, your business, you need some uniforms. No, I'm good. I got water. It's just one of those things that comes. So make sure you call them, 786-618-1443. for 3A Graphics Sports Calendar. Heat defeat Grizzlies 108-102. Miami improves to 4-4. Memphis is 1-7. Tyler Hero suffers an ankle injury. He'll be in a walking boot for 10 days. They'll reevaluate him in 2 weeks, and then they'll have a better sense when he's going to return. Sounds to me like he's out about a month. All right? He heard crunches and cracks. Don't worry, it ain't good, unfortunately. But they won 108-102. And then on Saturday, they will visit Atlanta at 7:30. Panthers defeat the Capitals 4-3. Florida improves to 7-4-1. Bob had 25 saves in that one. Tonight, oh, by the way, they've got Carolina at 7 o'clock on Friday. And then tonight, we've got Thursday Night Football, Panthers and Bears. The 1-7 Panthers against the 2-7 Bears. Yay! Exciting and new. Come aboard. We're expecting you. Anyway, the Bears are -3. Over and unders 38.5 in that one. Huh? Justin Fields is doubtful? Oh, that's just fun. So Taggart, Baggart, Tangent, Banjit, whatever his name is, he'll start. Okay. That's your 3A Graphics Sports Calendar. All right. Now, out of our sports calendar, why don't we get to an MVP? Because William Quigley is the ultimate landscaping MVP of South Florida. When we talk about Cutter's Edge Pro, they are the best. So if your home, your business, you want to take it to the next level, or maybe you do have some landscaping, but you need to keep it up a little bit. You need the maintenance. Call the great people at Cutter's Edge Pro. Let's get to our Cutter's Edge Pro MVP of the night.
Who's last night's MVP? For your complete landscape solutions anywhere in South Florida, there's only one MVP. CuttersEdgePro.com. Here's our CuttersEdgePro.com MVP of the night.
Boy, you know what my MVP is? I'm going to go with 4 players for the Panthers, because when you talk about, like, you know, contributing and doing everything that you got to do, and then it's a team effort. Sure, Bob last night had 25 saves, but let me go with the MVP of the night. I'm going to give it to Oliver Ekman-Larsson. I'm going to give it to Reinhardt. I'm going to give it to Rodriguez, and I'm going to give it to Barkov. Why? All 4 of them had a goal and an assist in the game last night. So they either scored or helped one of their teammates score last night in those 4 goals. To me, that was actually really cool when you look at the stat line and you see the way that they were the balance, how they were able to attack the Capitals and have 4 players with a goal and an assist. That's an MVP-like performance for me. And they pick up the win 4-3. They improve to 7-4-1. They've got Carolina on Friday at 7 o'clock. So, Barkov, Reinhardt, Rodriguez, and Ekman-Larsson. Those are our Cutter's Edge MVP of the night.
The MVP of the night is brought to you by CuttersEdgePro.com. Servicing HOAs, condominiums, townhomes, commercial properties, corporate parks, and malls throughout South Florida. CuttersEdgePro.com. Providing South Florida MVP performance every day of the year.
Right. Yes, sir. Right. Did you watch the debates last night? That was entertaining. You know, it's when we don't agree on something, we should call it the Wallace line. Okay? We're going to call it the Wallace line. And because, you know, you see Democrats and Republicans, hell, inside their own Republican Party, they don't even agree themselves, actually. But you know how we have the two anons and then the two haters, and then we have a Wallace line in between, right? And the Wallace line, for those of you that may not know, Indonesia has many, many islands. In fact, that area there is probably the part of the world that has the most islands is there in Indonesia. And when we talk about Lombok and Java, No, Bali and Java are together, right? That's what it is. And it's interesting, right? There's something called, if you study it, you'll see something called the Wallace line. And so the problem was, though, when you look at Indonesia, the way it's structured, it's together now, and it actually used to be apart. Yeah. Like tectonic plates or tectonic plates are the things that have moved the earth in hundreds of millions of years, right? And so like Lombok was, hooked up to like Australia, and it broke off of Australia. And then when you talk about Bali and Java, they were with Malaysia and Vietnam and Cambodia. And then as time, they broke off and then they kind of like joined, but they're not really together. They're kind of together, but they're all kinds of islands. But then one of the things that happened was very interesting, Sean, as time developed. The Wallace line developed. As a gentleman, I forgot the guy's name now, because now you're asking me to remember a whole bunch of shit now. But the guy's name is something Wallace. That's why it's called the Wallace line. And so he, at that point, was an explorer, and he would go all over the world and check all kinds of stuff out and see how the world was different in different parts of the world. And so then he goes to these islands, right? And he thinks they're all the same. Right? But the problem is that when you walk on one section of the island, it's rhinos, lions, elephants, I don't know, tigers, that kind of stuff. And then the other side, the Lombok side, you got Komodo dragons, you got cockatoos, you got marsupials, stuff like completely different animals. So then he labeled it that there was a Wallace line in between the middle of Indonesia, because the animals that were on both sides of the country were completely different. And he was like, how did this happen? And then, scientists figured out that it was these parts broke off from those continents, and then they kind of came closer together, but yet there's still a Wallace line it's an invisible line. It's a thing that exists, but it's not there. You know what I mean? And so that I think that's a saying that I want to use on the show now. That we've run into the Wallace line, whether it's Tua, there's a Wallace line. You're either a believer or you're not. You watch our Democrats and our Republicans, there's a Wallace line in there. You know what I'm saying? It's like Chris Greer, there's a Wallace line there. There's people that believe and people that don't believe. You know what I'm saying? But it's funny that if you think about it, these are these stupid things that I like to come up with and tell you guys about, that it's just kind of, yes, sir.
Alfred Russel Wallace.
Okay. Alfred Russel Wallace. Okay. I remember the Russell part. I don't remember the Alfred. Okay. All right. That's cool. I like that. Okay, Alfred Russel Wallace. Okay, that's the Wallace line. Yeah. It's funky, man. It is funky. I'm telling you. Anyway. All right. Big O, do you think the Panthers will miss Radko Gudas this year? It's too early to find out, but they're 7-4-1 right now. And I will tell you this. I don't know if you get the same feeling, but like when I watch the Panthers, like I see them busting their asses every night to win. Like when I watch the Heat, it's, it's like, is Butler playing tonight? Is he trying tonight, or is he not? Is he going to play? Or, it's who's resting today, whatever, that kind of stuff. And we don't get that with hockey. And it's like the other night, we're going into the game against Boston, and bro, Boston won. That you read everything about that game, and they can't stand the effing Panthers because after the season they had, and then they were up 3-0, and then the Panthers came back to win the next 4 and eliminate their ass. It like has stuck to them, okay? And it reminds me of the AFL, okay, after the Jets won the Super Bowl, okay, remember when the Super Bowl, when the AFL and the NFL merged finally, they started in 67, the unofficial merger, the full merger was in 69. And that year, the Jets and the Colts met in the Super Bowl and here in the Orange Bowl. And you know, Joe Namath predicted that they would win, and he ran off the field with the number one, and all you guys know all that stuff. So they had I'm trying to remember, he has kind of red hair, and I want to believe he is I want to say he's a running back for them. And the next year, okay, they play 6 preseason games in those days. But the following year, he wanted to retire, but he chose not to retire because he wanted to play in the preseason game against the Giants. Because it was another NFL team, and then it was all, you know, the Giants in those days had all the commercials, and the AFL was not. And then once they got Joe Namath, they got on the map a little bit more, and then Joe, obviously, Broadway Joe became the shit, you know what I mean? And so he put the AFL on the map. That's why Joe Namath should be in the Hall of Fame, not so much because his stats were amazing, it's because of what he meant to the league also. You know, as a figure, that he really was able to sell football in a way that very few could. And anyways, and so I'm trying to remember the gentleman's name. It's hard for me to remember all this stuff. I remember some things, but he actually, it's like Brantley or Gantley or something. And so he wanted to come back to play that game, and they killed the Giants. No, Werblin was the owner. Sonny Werblin was the owner of the Jets. Yeah. Sonny was the owner. So, hey, do me a favor, give me a break. I gotta answer this phone. I'll be right back. Give me 1 minute.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
You know, I tell you guys all the time about Cutter's Edge Pro, man, and what they did with our backyard and made it a pure oasis. That's our Sylvester tree right there on a beautiful day, providing a ton of sunshine. We've got one exactly like this out in the front yard, and it is absolutely gorgeous. There's Bono hanging around on the artificial turf. What's up, Bono? What's the word, baby? There you go, wagging that little tail. Maiden, there she is. Ziggy. How you doing, Ziggy? There you go. So we got the doggies hanging out. So just want to give you a little, you know, we got some of the trees starting off from this way with the artificial turf. You see, there's Ziggy again, of course. Got it all the way. And look, we got some flowers coming out. That tree now will start to also spring, and it's absolutely beautiful too. So got all that, you know, they can do all kinds of things for you in your backyard to kind of make it an oasis, which is what we've done. And obviously the dogs can play. What's up, Bono? I got them there hanging out. Maiden, there she is. There she is, the one and only. She is mean as a skunk, by the way. Just want you to know. She's awesome with us, but I mean, if you're a stranger, you don't want to meet mated. So as you can see, and then the artificial turf, remember, there's no watering. There's no cutting the grass. It looks fabulous like this the entire time. You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful. Back here in this corner is where we put the barbecue. I wheel it out, cook, then I wheel it back in. See, looks beautiful, doesn't it? Flowers are coming out. It's awesome. And then when I want to play a little golf, there's my putting green down the side, which is a beautiful thing. There's one of the holes all the way to the other side where Bono is at. All lights up. It's really beautiful when it lights up. See, we got the rough. Got several. Got one on that side. Got one over there in the corner. Urbano's leaving. Got rough all over the place, man. Just in case, you get the ball trapped in there. That's it. That's another swing. Right, Maiden? So, check it out. CuttersEdgePro.com. Make your home an oasis. Make your business, your HOA complex, condominium, you name it, they got you, bro. They do it all. All right? They can cut your trees down, and the artificial turf, I swear by it. Really easy to maintain, and it looks just absolutely freaking beautiful. Cutter's Edge Pro. Right, Ziggy?
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Let me see if I see the name here. Thank you for pulling it up here. Yeah, maybe I was wrong that it was a running back. Or was there a fullback there on this roster? Yeah. I'm trying to remember the guy's name from it, but anyway, so I was talking about how the Jets and the one player came back to play that game in the preseason. And by the way, that wasn't an insider thing, that phone call, okay, just in case, because that's happened to me before. I gotta, that wasn't that, by the way. That was something important, but it wasn't that. So thank you for hanging in there. And what it reminded me of, that when I watched the Panthers were early in the season and the effort is like the same, you know what I mean? And I respect the hell out of that. Just like, it's that story that it reminded me of the Jets player that wanted to come back just to play in a preseason game against the Giants, just to kick their ass. And that's exactly what they ended up doing. Let's see. What else do we have? The debates are pointless. Trump too far ahead. Yeah. Yep, exactly. They are pointless. Yeah, but the problem is that if he ends up, getting charged, he's got that. Like I said already, bro, this whole thing is set up perfectly for Republicans if they put somebody else there. If they put Trump, they will lose again. And the Trumpies don't know this because they only live in their echo chamber. But most people don't like Trump. Most people don't like Trump. Even in the Republican Party, they don't like Trump. And the Democrats don't like Biden. That's the amazing part. But they're going to vote for Biden over Trump. That's what's going to happen. It's automatic, dude. Everything's been set. He lost to Hillary by 3 million. He lost to Biden by 7 million. He lost all 7 of the idiots that he tried to put into the House 2 years ago, or a year ago. And now he lost. He endorsed the Kentucky governor, and he ends up losing. And the Democrats killed it because they're going to the extremes against abortion, all that stuff. It's staring them in the face. They could easily win this election. The Democrats have nobody. All they have to do is put somebody else that isn't Trump, and they win. Landslide, they win. I think even Democrats will vote for somebody Republican that isn't Trump. So Trump could be ahead and all that, but it's not going to help him at all. He's not going to win. But that's all right. The Trumpies will be wrong again, and we'll be screwed anyways because we're stuck with Biden. So terrible, dude. So terrible. It's not Pete Gogolak. Pete Gogolak was the man that ignited the war between the AFL and the NFL. Okay? That's the guy that ignited it because he was the free agent that kind of crossed the line and it was over after that. Let's see. Big O Sean is a pro. Just like that, he had the advertisement ready to go. Damn right. He's the best. Chad is in. Good morning. Sorry I'm late from work, and these kids got my priorities all messed up. Yeah, that's right, bro. The show goes before family and the kids and work. The hell's wrong with you people? Come on, Chad. Come on, you slacker. Big O's yard looks like a very nice par 3. I like it. I like it. What a great system. I know, right? It's so terrible. It's so terrible. We got 2 parties with what in between? A what? A Wallace line. We have reached the Wallace line of the discussion. That's how we're gonna treat it from now on. The Wallace line. By the way, nice job by Ryan Clark and Channing Crowder ripping into Brandon Marshall. I saw the video yesterday. Did you see the video yesterday? Like Brandon Marshall thinking that he's like, the thing about Brandon Marshall, and I've said this for many years now when he was with Miami, and listen, I don't like to make fun of anyone with any kind of mental disorder or issues, okay? But here's my problem with that discussion with a lot of people, okay? Sometimes you're just a bad person. You're not messed up. You're a bad person. And so for me, that's the way I look at Brandon Marshall. It's not that Brandon Marshall has some kind of issues that he tells you and all that. No, Brandon Marshall is a first-class a-hole, is what he is. He's a bad human being. And he probably has some issues maybe. But to me, it's more that you're a bad person, period. You're like a con artist. You're just a liar on a consistent basis. And I'm glad that these guys, that was really cool. That was really cool. Omar, huh? Oh, yeah? Oh, I didn't see Omar. It was the pivot thing, so I didn't see Omar.
Well, he did it on his, but he put it on X.
Okay, good.
Where the thing, but he did
I gotta see it. Good for him because he got screwed with them.
Yeah, I don't think he know if he went all in, but he did talk about it.
Well, he's got a lawsuit, probably. That's why. Because I'm sure everybody's suing him because honestly, you go, hey, listen, man, we all make mistakes. I went into business with somebody that was absolutely, completely shady, and everybody told me and warned me, and I paid the price too. So, it happens. We all make mistakes, and we try to see if we give people a second chance. And they tell you, they warn you, and you say, well, let's see if maybe, and then it doesn't change. And so most of us, when we knew he was working with Brandon Marshall, we knew it wasn't a good idea, but you got to go ahead and go through it yourself and live it. And I've been there. You know what I'm saying? So I know exactly what it's like. Omar was on DDW calling a BMA narcissist. Yeah. On Dudley? That's where he was? Oh, okay. Okay. The last time. Oh, by the way, somebody said that Dudley did a video with there it is. Dudley Duran did a video where he listed the teams that won the Super Bowl without beating a winning team during the regular season. Interesting. Who were they? Who were they? That's what I want to know. Yeah, the Bucks from 2020 is what it was. Because I know the whole Rams thing. Everybody brings up the Rams. So the Bucks of 2020 beaten nobody. Oh, that's right. They had that terrible start. And then they finished strong. That's probably what happened to them in a way. The only problem is I don't like using that as a crutch to make me feel better or some bullshit like that. So I don't like trying to find some kind of an outlier for something that commonly, look, man, our team, the one that you and I love, the Aqua and Orange, okay, they haven't done anything in the postseason in forever, dude. And they never win against big teams like 98% of the time. Once in a blue moon, they'll beat a really good team. And we'll all be tripping out on it and all that because the sun shines on every dog's butt every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, to me, when you try to find an outlier for something, or, stats can be spun however you want. I'm going to go with the commonality that I've watched for decades now. The Dolphins aren't good enough in the regular season, and that's why whenever they just sneak into the playoffs, they're never good enough for the postseason ever. So start getting better during the regular season and beating the good teams, and you'll notice that you'll go deeper into the playoffs more often, because that's what Shula used to do. So, all this stuff about trying to find an outlier to make you feel better, yeah, I'm not about that. I'm going to stay in reality. Get your ass in gear. Your team is better than what you're doing right now. You should beat Kansas City. You can beat Philadelphia. You can beat the Bills. I'm not telling you have to win all three, but you got to start winning your share of those games. And they have enough talent to win it. So the coaching better figure it out. Okay? That's my point more than anything else. So I can't, worry about any of that outlier crap. Oh, well, this team didn't beat a winning team and they won a Super Bowl, and whatever. It's not going to make me feel better. Let's see. More often than not, the teams that have beaten the great teams before, they make it to a Super Bowl. Of course, dude. Joe Burrow and his Bengals, they beat the Chiefs. They beat the Bills. They beat the big teams all the time. So that's why they've been to a Super Bowl and Miami hasn't. I'll go with that. Instead of me trying to waste my time trying to find a team or two or three that by chance they didn't actually win against a winning team and they made it to the Super Bowl and won it or whatever. Come on, man. What was that? What's hilarious?
I'm trying to research the 2020 Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. In their wild card round, they faced the Commanders.
Oh, wow.
Do you know what the Commanders' record was?
Oh my! It was
as a wild card
record,
team,
right? Wasn't it
7-10?
Yeah, 7-10.
7-10. They were the wild card team. They
got lucky
in the wild card round.
So you got a break already in one game, and then what was the next game? And I know they didn't start well; they weren't in sync, huh? Oh, 13-5 is not bad. Right. Yeah. 18 games, yeah. So the Saints, okay. And then what? Okay. Okay. But the Packers are notorious chokers in the playoffs. Notorious chokers in the playoffs. What else? Okay, the Chiefs. Well, and that was the year that the Chiefs had no offensive line. Right? Right? They won because Tampa won, obviously. And Mahomes got killed. Yeah, that was yeah. So the outlier really becomes a little luck too at the same. That's why, you know what, dude? Don't look for an outlier. Don't look for breaks, all that kind of shit. Go earn it. Get on the field, be the better team, beat the better teams. And then when you get to the playoffs, you will have the kind of confidence to continue to beat those teams. That's the way I would look at it. But that's just me. Anyway, they may not have done nothing in a long time, but that shouldn't be the reason why they can't do something now. So this theory that you have, I have to, I'll go with my theory over yours, my brother. The history is If you're not beating good teams, you're not going to do anything in the playoffs. So I'll go with that because the other one hasn't been proven. Okay? So until I actually start seeing them win, that's fine. But if you think that if they're not going to beat the good teams and then they're just going to pile on a bunch of, by the way, they've done that before where they piled on a bunch of wins against weaker opponents. And then when they got to the playoffs, they got thoroughly embarrassed. I forgot what season it was, but there's one season that I remember when they made it to the playoffs, we were talking about how that year they played like a schedule. You know what? It might have been the Wildcat year that they played like the Bills in Toronto, and it might have been even with a backup quarterback or something. And they ran into like several backup quarterbacks in 1 year or something, and they got a bunch of wins, and then they got to the playoffs and they got smoked. So I will disagree with you, sir. Okay, because I lived the Shula era. I'm going to go with the Shula era. When you're good enough to beat anybody, you can go into the playoffs and you can run the table. You know what I'm saying? But if you're constantly losing to the better teams, that kind of tells me who you are. So you and I are going to completely disagree on that one. What's the last big win against an elite team that this team has beaten outside of the fluky win against the Bills last year in 100 degrees? Not a lot, bro. There aren't a lot of them. Unless it's like a New England miracle comeback or something, some crap like that. There's just not a lot, man. You know what I'm saying? They just got to start winning those games. You got to get over the hump on that one. Can't forget either that the 2020 Bucs team had a head coach and quarterback that had been to Super Bowls and NFC championship games as well. Yeah. I mean, you have Brady, bro. Yeah, that's true. That's true. This is different. This team that Greer built and the coaches he's hired, let's wait and see. I agree on that, but you got to get it done. It's not like I'm saying they can't win. I'm telling you, McDaniel's underachieving. McDaniel has no business losing to the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Eagles. He failed. He has to win one or two of those games with the talent he has. That's my point. Okay? That's my point. I know it's like the whole Bam thing. It's the same. We have that Wallace line, right? You got some call him a star, and I'm on the other side and say, no, he's not a star because he can't impose his will offensively. And he refuses to do it on an every night basis. Can he? Hell yeah. He doesn't lack the skill set. Bam has the skills to do whatever he wants to do on the court. He just doesn't have it in him to be that SOB. So we have the Wallace line in there. So we have a Wallace line on the team. Some of you think, oh, no, they can win. You better start winning these next few games out here. You better beat Buffalo the next go around. You lose to Buffalo again, that's pathetic. Yeah, I said it. You lose to Buffalo again, that's pathetic. You got to stop losing to Buffalo. So if they're different, Rosendo, show me. Because I can't expect you to start winning in the playoffs when you're not winning in the regular season. Big O, I'm starting to get off that hero bandwagon. We can make all the excuses we want, but injury-prone players is a thing, and Tyler's an injury-prone player. Availability is the best ability, and nobody can argue with that. And anybody that's off of Tyler's bandwagon, that's understandable because he's always injured. And that's what it is, whether it's his fault or not. Some people had problems with the English language yesterday because I tweeted out, I feel bad for Tyler. Regardless of the reason why, but he constantly misses games. And then I got back from a couple of people. It's not his fault. And I go, did you not read regardless of the reason why? It's in the sentence. I'm mad You took a shot at Tyler. Marino never struggled against anyone. The Dolphins' defenses couldn't stop you. It wasn't Marino's fault. Marino is busting his ass constantly trying to win. Sometimes he would throw a bunch of interceptions trying to force things. He has a bunch of interceptions in his portfolio because he had to force stuff all the time. He just didn't have a running game that he could count on. You know what I mean? And over the years, I think he just developed an attitude was like, screw the running game because it never helps me out. And I don't blame him because he just never had it. Never had the guy there, unfortunately. It sucks, but it's the truth. What else do we have to talk about? Anybody going to Friday's Inter Miami NYC FC Noche de Oro? You're going? No, you're not. Bro, ticket prices start at $85 for a friendly. And by the way, he's also not expected to play the whole game.
He'll get what? First 20 minutes?
No, I think he'll play at least a half.
Think he'll play the half?
Yeah, I think he'll play the half.
When does his other duty start, though? How soon are that?
In middle November, and a week after.
Oh, so he's got a week. Okay.
He's got a week after, and then he goes. It's this week, and then next week he goes. He has 2 games in like a week over there. But yeah, and by the way, it'll be on Apple and MLS, so I'll watch it there. I mean, $85 for a friendly. I mean, it's just like we're there to celebrate it. No, you're not, bro. It's a money grab. We can produce a couple $1 million. Let's do it. What the hell? So, and
is this more Apple driven or Inter Miami driven?
Everything, I'm sure.
Both driven.
Everybody.
Let's figure out what we can do.
Everybody. Don't you think Apple wants him on television?
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. Like did Apple go like, hey, why don't we do this? And then Inter Miami's like, okay, why not?
And Inter wants it because
and then why
sell a Messi friendly match?
Why NYCFC?
I don't know. Maybe
maybe another team's trying to playoffs. So I forget
or maybe they were available.
Yeah,
maybe they, and they might have not been the first team they called for this.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because it is an off-season thing.
Yeah, because Orlando's still in the plane, so they can't.
And remember, a lot of players are being called for international duties and stuff, so there won't be complete rosters here. These are friendlies, but it's just so funny that you are charging $85 for the cheapest ticket. That's the cheapest ticket. So you're not sitting the bottom part of the bowl there. You're up on the top. You're in the Bob Uecker seats for $85.
So amazing how times have changed, right? I mean, I think they probably would have paid some people to come in to get seats before.
Yeah.
Now it's $85 to get in.
But with Messi, I mean.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's changed, but still, it's just.
Yeah. That's nuts. Anyway, you know what? Let me get to a little music and entertainment. We always like talking little birthdays and music history. And on November 9th, let's start off with a little music history. In the year I was born, in 1966, on this date, John Lennon met Yoko Ono for the first time at her art show in London, and that was the beginning of the end of the Beatles. In 1969, on this date, Rod Stewart released his first solo album, the aptly titled The Rod Stewart Album, which peaked at number 139 on the Billboard 200. It's a lot better than any of us will ever do. In 1999, the Record Industry Association of America declared the Eagles' greatest hits, 71 to 75, the best-selling album of the century. In 73 on this date, Billy Joel released his album, Piano Man. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. All right, in 67, the first issue of Rolling Stone, was published in San Francisco. It featured a photo of John Lennon on the cover. In 74, BTO, Bachman Turner Overdrive, had the #1 song in the country with "You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet." But baby, you ain't seen nothing yet. Here's some that you'll never forget. So there you go. That is what happened today in Musica history. Let's go with birthdays on the 9th. All right. First of all, we will start with Scarface, the rapper. He is 53 years old. French Montana is 39. Eric Dane McSteamy is 51. Chris Jericho is 53. I don't have to ask that one. Nick Lachey is 50. Delta Goodman, pop singer, Goodrin, is 39. I have no idea who she is. Pop singer. Let me see. The Australian singer and actress, best known for her hit album Innocent Eyes and her appearances on the television show Neighbours. She also appeared as a judge on several seasons of The Voice Australia. So she's an Australian talent that we have no idea who she is. But happy birthday to her. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Cisco. The Thong Song. He is 45 years old today, Cisco. Ryan Murphy, TV producer, is 58. Vanessa Lachey, very cute. She is 43. She had that failed cop series, right? I think. Yeah, CSI something. What was it? Hawaii, right. And that failed, right? It closed down already, I think. Okay. Lou Ferrigno is 72 years old today. How about that? Carl Sagan, the astronomer, was born in 1934 on this date. We lost him in 96. And Roxanne Shante, the rapper, she is 54 years old. Get into the Roxanne Wars, baby, with UTFO. Yeah. So you got your birthdays there. Okay. Kiss. If you happen to be a Kiss fan, they are announcing, they have their end of the road tour that's been going on for like 8 years now. So they have officially reached the end of the road tour on December 2nd at New York's Madison Square Garden. So now they're going to offer fans all over the world a chance for them to bid farewell with a live stream pay-per-view event. The Rockers' final bow will stream worldwide exclusively on payperview.com and also be available via cable and satellite operators in the U.S. and Canada. The concert will cost $39.99 in those territories and $14.99 outside of North America. No subscription is required. In Demand, the parent company of ppv.com, will also carry the events through the network cable, satellite, telco providers, including Infinity, Spectrum, Contour, Optimum, Fios, DirecTV, and more. So there you go. So $40. I don't know. Maybe some of you may have a Fire Stick out there. I don't know. I think those things get all the pay-per-views. So there you go. So Gene Simmons into making more cash. $40. $40. Are you kidding me? You got to be out of your mind to pay for all you got to do. You do know that all you got to do is go to YouTube, and there's like 500 different Kiss concerts, and on a lot of them that are professionally recorded. And you can see a concert of theirs in the mid 70s, late 70s, early 80s, when they're probably way better than they are now. And you can enjoy it much more than the one you're going to pay $40 for. But whatever. I mean, that's one thing I love about YouTube, man. And for a guy like me that loves music, you can find so many things. Oh, by the way, for that gentleman that sent me the band Trapped, I know Trapped, actually. I saw them for Make America Rock Again, and it was back in 2016 at the Pompano Beach Amphitheater. It was with Alien Ant Farm. It was... I called my friend, and I go, dude, where did we see Trapped? And he reminded me of where it was at. And I'm trying to remember what was the other band. I want to say it was Adelita's Way. Alien Ant Farm, Trapped. I think it was something like that. Make America Rock Again. You know, they're going off of the whole Trump thing, Make America Great Again and all that. So they did that, Make America Rock Again. And I remember it was a tour, and Trapped was part of it. So for that gentleman that sent me the Trapped, and I was listening to Trapped, I like them. They're all right. They remind me a lot of, it's the same kind of sound that Adelita's Way has also. Kind of the same thing. So, yeah. True Fan says, I don't blame McDaniel as much as my brother, but Tua needs to start to take over against the elite teams when everything else fails. Insult me if you want, but he pooped the bed against those teams. I get it, but he did not. Because in the Kansas City game, as I've mentioned a couple of times, True Fan, were there a lot of plays to be made in the Kansas City game? Or did we just watch two defenses shut down both quarterbacks to 180 yards? Okay, did Tua not put a beautiful bomb in Tyreek's hands and he dropped it? That's points right there, dude. And Tyreek's fumble led to a touchdown. That's points right there. All by himself, he cost the team, and Tua made the throw when you needed it. So I disagree with you, bro. That was a game that they weren't going back and forth scoring. Mahomes could not score the entire second half. It goes both ways. We have to give love to the Chiefs defense and to the Dolphin defense that day. They both shut out two excellent offenses. They both shut out two excellent quarterbacks. But the difference is the receivers around Mahomes made the plays. The receivers around Tua did not make the plays. And Tua read the hot read, threw the right route, and Cedric Wilson took off. In a game where there's a pass rush and you don't have time for long developing plays, Cedric Wilson has to know this. So I completely disagree with you. There wasn't a chance to make a ton of plays in that game. Kansas City and Miami's defense were not allowing a lot of plays. So the few that were available, you got to make them, man. You got to make them. And I'm sorry, Tyreek failed there. If anybody, Tyreek Hill cost the Dolphins all by himself that game. Let's just be honest now. It's a team game, but one guy messed up completely. He dropped a perfect bomb, and the other pass that was a little behind him, he should have caught it. Just like Tua should have caught the snap to his right. I've seen Tua catch the ones on the floor. I've seen Tua catch the ones on the top and still complete the pass. You're the quarterback. You got to be paying attention to the snap. You know the call. It's a silent count. You've triggered it. If you're worried about the blitzer, well, you got to use your peripheral vision, bro. Keep your eye on the ball and your peripheral vision on whatever passer, your rusher you're worried about. But you better catch that pass. That hit your hands. It was to your right. Was it a great snap by Connor? No. Was it catchable for Tua? Hell yeah. Just like it was for Tua. Sorry. So True Fin, there's a Wallace line here. We got the Wallace line here. Okay? I'm not blaming this at all on Tua. Okay? Tua shit the bed like everybody else against the Bills. I'm with you there. You want to say that? Go ahead. But in the Chiefs game, no. Only a few plays. And the guy that screwed up majorly is Tyreek Hill. Big time. Tyreek shot us in the foot. He yapped too much during the week. He needs to cut that out and let his play do the talking. Yep. There you go, True Fin fan. So I disagree with you, says Ron. I mean, we got a Wallace line. That's it. We got the Wallace line. Well, that ball was behind Tyreek. If you really watch the video breakdown, it was behind Tyreek. But that one, I still think he should have caught that one. But I'll give you a break on that one. The deep ball, no excuses, Frankie. That was points he left on the board. Because if he catches that ball, they're already in scoring situation. You know, that's the difference in the game right there, those points. So the second one, I say he still should have caught it because I went back and looked at it a couple times. But the first one, forget about it. There's no discussion at all in the first one. That thing hit his hands. He has to catch it. You're an elite player in an elite game. You have to be elite. And he wasn't. He screwed up. All right, let's take a quick break here. Hour number 3 from Hialeah Park is next right here on the Big O Radio Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house!
Get out of the house! Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Radio Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated. They offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help. The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All right. Ready to go. Hour number 3 of the program. Hope you all are doing well. Appreciate all of you out there as always. Thank you for keeping it locked here on the program. And I see a little Top Gun there. Yes, sir, folks. Oh, baby, Top Gun. New sponsor of our program. And, folks, let me tell you something. One of the things that they're doing, which is really cool, they have classes for the ladies out there, English and Spanish. And they've got self-defense classes for the ladies, from basic pistol to concealed weapons courses. And again, available also in Spanish. They've got tactical nights, competitions. They use either bowling pins, stuff like that, different kinds of targets. They've got all kinds of memberships. The higher the membership, the better the discounts, from gun cleaning even up to unlimited shooting. And Top Gun is really easy to get to. It's right off of the Turnpike. Let me tell you, right off of 120th and the Turnpike. Go, by the way, to TopGunIndoorRange.com. Go check it out for yourself there, folks. Glock, 6 Hours, Smith & Wesson. They've got great gun sales there. They've got a wide selection of guns and rifles. And they are the only indoor archery range in Dade County. That's one of the things I'm going to go do with my wife and my daughter. We're going to go to the archery range, which is actually really cool. So please call my people out there, Steve, and the great people at Top Gun, 305-306-7333. There you go. Good people. We go from one Steve to another Steve. About that. Steve at Top Gun Indoor Range, and then Steve Calabro right here, baby. Hialeah Park. Hialeah Park. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling unbelievable.
Well,
I got an announcement.
You got a lot of Bitcoin like me?
No. What did it do today? What did it do? It's like 37?
37, man. You don't have anybody in your office that's like a crypto nut like me?
We have one guy in there. He's a young guy, but he's got no money.
I was going to say kid, and I knew it. I was going to go, it had to be a young person, because people my age, your age, we're not.
Yeah, I mean.
We're terrified of crypto.
I'm not terrified of it. I just.
It's intimidating.
There's a lot of. Listen, there's a lot of other great investments. I'm going to tell you.
No, there isn't.
Let me tell you what I love.
Not better than Bitcoin.
I tell you, I love oil. Love oil.
Still not better than Bitcoin.
I know, but I'm not like, I'm a little bit elder of Big O. I qualify for Medicare.
Doesn't matter. Matter.
But you're supposed to be a little more reserved in your investment as you get in years.
The volatility of it,
it's pretty wild.
But it's going to get less and less because mass adoption takes over. That's the problem that we didn't have. BlackRock is buying now. T. Rowe Price.
T. Rowe Price is amazing, man.
All right, listen. ARK Investments. What's it called? I'm trying to remember all these investment firms. Fidelity. There's a reason why they're all buying Bitcoin now.
Well, they want to be in everything.
Well, they know what it is.
Because they're customers. They want every customer.
Larry Fink that came out for BlackRock, he called it a flight to security because the dollar is going to crumble like it's been crumbling forever.
Well, there's a simple reason why the dollar. One of the reasons.
Well, I know that.
When you put like a clown in charge of the economic of our country, you get bozo-like results.
The guy before,
also a clown too.
No. Even before Trump, before Biden, we gave. I forgot the name of the guy. Can you look it up for me? We gave him the Nobel Peace Prize. I forgot the guy's name now. And this idiot, we gave him the Nobel Peace Prize for keeping interest rates at zero and printing money. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that was.
I'm trying to remember the guy's name. I don't know if anybody out there follows it. I'm brain farting right now, and his name.
Oh, Greenspan. No, not Greenspan.
It just happened a couple years ago. Just a couple years ago. He's a financial guy, and we had him. He was running our money, and
it's become very political. Though.
And now we've got the Powell guy, which was named by Trump, but this guy kept him too.
Who's horrible?
No, he's
Powell's horrible.
Well, that's because Powell, Yellen, Biden, and Warren are all working together.
Listen, when you listen to Yellen, she's wrong like 60% of the time.
She has no idea what she's doing.
It's unbelievable that she's been in her position for so many years, like in these various positions.
And Warren flat out lies to people.
Well, yeah, but that's different. She's a liar. She's just a liar.
But she misleads people, dude.
Yeah, because she's a liar. She's a flat out liar. That's why she lied on her application to Rutgers Camden. Yeah. Rutgers Camden. You know Rutgers Camden? That's like there's 3 Rutgers. Rutgers, New Brunswick, Rutgers, Newark, and Rutgers Camden. Rutgers Camden, like it pretty much, what is there? 100 people in a poker room, 90 of them would get into Rutgers Camden. Elizabeth Warren had to lie to get in.
Right.
I mean, come on. It's not the real Rutgers.
Right.
Nobody really goes to Camden, New Jersey. I can tell you that right now. There's no reason to go to Camden. There's nobody. Anyway, I have an annountement, but I can't.
Pull up the list of Nobel Peace Prize winners and just tell me the list of the last.
It got to be the
It won't be
the Powell of 10 years ago.
Yeah, I forgot his damn name now, dude. But anyway, so
I have a huge announcement.
Tell me about sports gambling.
Sports betting. Hialeah Park Sports Betting will launch tentatively December 7th.
Love it.
Our friends up north, they're in Broward, Hard Rock Live, Hard Rock Bet. We're partnered with them. So you're going to tell all your viewers, your listeners, everybody,
then come out.
Don't go to the place. Don't go to the App Store. Don't go to any place else. Just come right to Hialeah Park, or you can go to we're going to have a Hialeah Park on our website and on our app. QR code and a link. Pick either one. So you'll create an account and be Hialeah Park. Big O, blah, blah, blah. I live here. They got this. The only problem is it's like, when you're signing up for something online, it's digital. For now, it's digital.
Am I screwed because I already have my account?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I killed it last night.
You have a Hard Rock Bet account?
I had it the first go run.
Yeah. You're on there.
I took the Heat minus 1.5 last night, and then in the third quarter, because I love the live. Then it comes up.
That's the bet, the live.
Right, the live is the best. And then the Heat take a lead, right? And anybody that follows the Heat, they suck in the fourth quarter, right? So it comes out Memphis plus 6.5. So I take it. And then they extended the lead a little bit and went Memphis plus 8.5. And I took it. Memphis made the comeback in the fourth quarter, sure enough, and they ended up losing by 6.
Nice.
So I won the Heat minus 1.5 and Memphis plus 6.5 and plus 8.5, and I killed it last night. Bro.
Well, now listen,
love that app.
But Big O, there's another thing. It's not going to happen December 7th. It's going to happen a little after December 7th.
You know what I'll do? I'll open that account with my wife's name.
You're like the 10th guy that's told me that. My neighbors in where I live, there's like 5 guys. We're at a party when he goes, that's it. I'm opening up in Bonnie's name. I'm going to open it. Right. But there's another thing too you can do. So not initially, but about 2 months after that, if you're on our property, you're sitting right where you're sitting right here. and you make a sports bet while you're sitting right there, it's the Hialeah Park sports bet, and you get the same odds as the Hard Rock, even though you have a Hard Rock account, because you're sitting
here,
sitting in our property. With some kind of geofencing they're going to do around our property. They'll know the app will know, not
right. Of course,
the app will know that you're where you are. You're on this 200 acres. You're betting 200 to win, blah blah blah. So that's not bad. It's a little bit. That's okay. But the good news is, just tell everybody in Big O Land, Hialeah Park. We're going to have a QR code. We're going to have a link.
We got to start doing a daily gambling segment on Hialeah.
It's going to be everything. We got to go full blast.
We got to do that every day.
And we'll help you sign up, because how you signed up for your thing. What you had to do was, there was really 3 steps. Here with us, you got to do 4. You got to create a Hialeah Park account. Then we link you to the betting account. Then you got to load your account. You got to put some money in, right? And then you got to make a bet. That's the steps, right? I mean, if you're wagering, it's not that hard, right?
No, it's normal. That goes. Like that, bro.
Yeah, it's any online kind of account. That's what you do. So that's what's going to happen. I've had like 2 or 3 meetings with the guys in Hard Rock. They've been great. Hard Rock, it used to be called Hard Rock Digital. Now it's Hard Rock Bet. And do you know that there's ESPN has a new thing too, right? So I'm going to give you some sports.
And by the way, I think it is Ben Bernanke. Thank you,
Ben Bernanke. Yeah, he was there for a long time.
That's the moron. We gave him the Nobel Peace Prize for keeping rates at 0 for like 10 years and printing money.
Yeah, it's crazy.
First of all, keeping rates at 0 was asinine.
Yeah, that's insane right there. And look, a lot of
I get it. You can keep it for a short amount of time,
but not for 6 years or 10 years.
But not for 10 years, bro. You got to run a government.
It's bad. It's bad, right? But and the people now, Powell and Yellen, they're just really, really, really bad. And you almost can't like I don't know. I want to get political because I get so upset with the whole mess of things. I want to throw. I'm going to be.
Every side is all screwed up, bro.
Yeah, it's.
I have the list of winners here.
Well, give me the list of winners.
Uh-oh.
From what year?
Last couple of years. It's only the last couple of years. He just won it a couple of years ago.
Let's see. 2017 was the national campaign to abolish nuclear weapons. 2018 it was Dennis Mukwege and Nadia Murad. 2019 it was Abiy Ahmed. 2020 the World Food Program, United Nations. 2021 was Dmitry Muratov of Russia and Maria Ressa, the Philippines, United States. 2022 was.
Oh, Bernanke. It's definitely not Bernanke. Now I know Bernanke's face. It's definitely not Bernanke.
Alias,
no. No.
Iran. The guy from Iran.
No, definitely not Barack Obama. It wasn't him. It was. Then it was a few years. Then it was even more back. I didn't think it was. I guess time flies, dude.
Greenspan?
No, it wasn't Greenspan.
That's way back.
No.
Well, he was pretty good though.
Damn it, dude. I can't remember the guy's name now. Happens. You want to remember everything. And you can't remember every damn thing. Anyways, go ahead. So
just saying, it's all about sports betting, and we're gonna go up hell's bells. We're gonna go, big time promos. We'll have all kinds of stuff here. Come on property. We'll make sure that it's worth your while to sign up, and we'll help you out. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna create a team of people like that work
How about
here.
creating a big ass sports bar?
So
that people can live in the sports bar and gamble. They can buy food and drink, and we can broadcast from there.
Downstairs too.
I know.
Did you see the new bar? We just put a nice new bar top in there.
I just saw that.
It's nice, right?
I just walked through it.
And I just spoke with the owner, John Bernetti. He's like, "Hey, we got to make that bar look like a sports bar now."
You got to put TVs.
I swear to God, he said that literally like an hour ago.
You got to put 400 TVs in there.
I mean, I don't know where I got to start, but literally a lot of people thinking the same way.
You have to.
And then right there,
because that allows the person to watch all the games, gamble some of the machines, go eat, go drink,
play a little relax,
go outside,
go play some slots,
smoke if they got to smoke, whatever they smoke.
Yeah,
because obviously there's all kinds of different things to smoke nowadays. So
Yeah.
whatever they want to do, drink, smoke, hang out.
I don't know.
Have
There's
fun.
just something different than cigarettes.
Funny cigarettes.
Oh, funny
They're
cigarettes.
called
Yeah. Well, that's
funny
like cigarettes. That's like
they're
a cigarette.
kind of like cigarettes
Yeah.
without the nicotine.
They have a medical value.
They do.
They do.
Medicinal value.
A medicinal. I didn't even say the
There
correct
is
word. A medicinal. Thank you for the
value.
correction there. Medicinal value, not medical value.
Yes.
Medicinal. I have to say that.
Yeah, so we need to create that.
So listen, I want to also.
I think that's the key.
I want to go from sports betting to just a little, like a man.
And by the way, that sports bar will be loaded on those days that we have the big races too.
Yeah, I mean everything. But there's a lot. There's always some kind of game going on. Whether it's the NBA, boxing, NBA, NFL. Although sports betting is interesting so far. So what we learned is from a demographics, the big studies, 96% of the wagers are made by men.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I didn't think it was that high. I thought it was a little bit.
Oh yeah, women aren't the kind of degenerates we are. No.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's one thing. The other thing is it's skews to a little bit of a younger crowd. The younger crowd likes the live betting. That when I say younger, I'm 65, so younger. There's a lot of different levels of younger there. Yeah, like the kid in my office, right? And so the the people that are somewhere between 20 and 21. You have to be 21 to bet. Sorry about that. Yeah, 21 to like about 39. That's more of a live betting crowd. They'll bet the game too, but that's like almost like a secondary thought.
Right.
So I just want everybody to know that. I think it's great. And I have another thing. I'm going to change directions.
Okay.
This is my ADHD kicking in. So just sharing with your viewers that I've been to a few different stadiums, and I don't know. I like I said it last show too. Vegas, so
right. You're talking about the stadium,
yeah. So place.
It's nicer outside from the outside of it.
Yeah, the band was cool.
Great on the outside.
Band was cool. The band was a nice touch. And then I don't know. I'm going to say something. I got to be careful. And when I visit my son, I would recommend that you just never go to the link.
Oh yeah.
I just there's no reason to go to the link.
Oh yeah.
Let obnoxious people beat up on obnoxious people. You know what I mean? Like. It's just downright
nasty,
a horrible experience.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a good game and it was a horrible experience. And nobody really picked on me, but you have to observe other people getting picked on.
What happened to it's like Eagles fans are missing a gene.
Yeah,
it's like something happened to them that they just are born from Neanderthals or something.
No, I think what happened. Here's what happened. I think that. They got this years ago, 30 years ago. It was a hard, rough, tough city, blue-collar city, and the guys were, a little rough on the edge. So they got a reputation, and now this younger generation feels the obligation to beat that reputation, go even further. Like I got to be more obnoxious than my grandfather. You know what I mean? It's just like that's what it seems like when you're at the game. It's like, so that was bad. I also want to share the in and out of both of those stadiums, like they don't really care. Like the game's over, everybody gets in their car, and you don't move for 45 minutes. And there's no police helping. There's no traffic control. I hope there's not a guy in charge of traffic control in Philadelphia.
Really?
Because he apparently doesn't go to work on Sundays when there's a game. He might go on Tuesday.
Wow.
But it's just horrific. Like you can see the highway. It's just
you can't get there.
You can throw a baseball to the highway. You can't get there. It's insane. It's just like the worst experience. But there are good stadiums, and I got to tell you, Miami's not a bad stadium.
No,
in and out.
Oh no, yeah, the Ingress.
You get right on the turnpike. You want to go south.
It's gotten better.
Not bad. And there's some people helping out. There's some cones up, there's some effort.
The bridges and even the underpass and everything. They did a lot of things to help alleviate the traffic and make it safer for people also, because those bridges to cross also 199 get to the different parking lots. That was very smart of them and very, and responsible on their part, man.
And see, my reason for sharing my experience, NFL experience.
Stephen Ross spends he wastes. He doesn't shortchange anything.
No, it's
amazing how he does everything first freaking class.
It's well done, and I just want to share because I remember one time I was talking to you here on the show, and you said, the NFL doesn't care about the fans. Who cares? They care about the money. But you know what? I care about the fans. I care about my experience. So I'm going to give you the bad and the good.
Yeah.
Miami, good football
Yeah,
experience.
man. Yeah.
You know,
I think Tom Garfinkel gives a shit.
Yeah, I think it's a decent experience.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, no, Tom Garfinkel was the
I'll tell you where it
badass,
was
man.
another bad experience.
Where's
Not
that?
a bad in and out egress from the highway. Was up in Jets and Giants. You know, the Meadowlands.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yes, I've been there.
The problem with the Meadowlands is you park into the parking lot. Not bad. The people were kind of cool. You know, I had driven my car up to New Jersey for a little while, so I had a Florida plate. Right. So now I go to the game. It's Miami. This was last year. Miami versus the Jets, and they're like, "Wow, you're a hardcore fan. You drove all the way from Florida." And I don't say yes or no, but they don't have to know that I got on a plane. I drove from my you know, like an hour, you know, but they didn't ask that, so I didn't say that. But then we start to walk to the stadium, and we get to the stadium. We're about 100 yards from the door. Half hour, 40 minutes before you get in. Missed the first. That was the game where what's his name went down in the second play. The quarter. I missed that.
Okay.
I'm at the game at
Bridgewater, right?
Yeah, Bridgewater goes down in like the third
First play. No, it was
the first play or whatever. I think it was the third play. But I don't know. I wasn't there, right? But meantime, I was at the stadium 3 hours prior. I walked to the game, 45 minutes before the game started, and I walked to the stadium, and I got to wait 45 minutes, and then I finally get in.
Wow.
And I get there, and I'm like, what happened? What's going on? So I just think that there's some good experiences and some bad, and I want to share them.
Yeah.
Miami, good.
Yeah.
Meadowlands, 50-50.
Philly, stay away.
Phillies, I forget about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go to a game in Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's nuts. Now, I do want to go. I do want to try Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
I heard Dallas is good.
Yeah,
and I'm not a big LA guy, but SoFi looks pretty cool.
Yes.
So I don't know. Everything I see about it and hear about it looks pretty cool.
Plus, you got to go across the street to Randy's Donuts, anyways. You got
Randy's Donuts. I'm a sweet tooth guy, so now you tease me. That's like unfair.
That has a big orange donut on top of the roof. You got to go to Randy's.
Randy's Donuts.
It's right there. By the way, if you go to LA, right down the street from Randy's is Roscoe's Chicken.
Roscoe's Chicken.
So their chicken and waffles is to die for.
I will tell you,
it's the chicken that I don't know if your mom was a good cook.
No, my mom was a great cook.
Okay, so
and my wife's a great cook.
Oh, my wife doesn't cook for shit. But,
don't say that.
No, it's true. She doesn't. She'll tell you that. I mean, she's not a cooker. What are you gonna do? But they make that chicken that's like perfectly crispy, and then when you take out chunks, it's not greasy. It's clean, and it tastes so good. And the breading is not too thick. It's like perfect. I'm telling you, man, it is the chicken that you want to die for.
Wait a second. Now I'm going to tell your viewers. None of your viewers will ever go to this place. I was just there.
Where?
Fantastic.
What's that?
So I happen to have they're going to say, well, who's this guy flying all over the place? I fly on Spirit. Okay, Spirit Air, right? So I'm not high end, right? I went on vacation. Took my wife on vacation. All out. We go to St. Croix for the week, right? St. Croix is nice. Virgin Islands, right? The airfare. Now I used some of my points. Round trip, $38 each. $38 to go to St. Croix and back. Wow. So I'm high end, right? So we go to St. Croix. We rent a little condo. St. Croix, a little bit of like beautiful beaches, but lots of poverty. And they all talked about how the Hurricane Irma and Maria crushed Puerto Rico, and it did. Well, it also, 50 miles to the east of St. Croix, it got crushed, but nobody talked about it. I'm telling you, there's like on every block, there's 10 houses, 3 or 4 of them, no roofs, no walls. It's 3 years later,
right? Yeah,
and they're not going to get fixed, at this point, right?
Yeah.
So it was a sad state, but it was a cool island. I'd go back. I liked it. There were some parts that the roads were horrific.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Like potholes, like 2 feet deep, really bad. But that being said, there was a chicken joint, Lorraine. Locals chicken joint, island locals. Like you got to go. Everybody's you got to go to Lorraine. The Islanders, and they have the bird. The little the what do you call them? The hens, like they're the little chicken thing, and it's kind of spinning there. Phenomenal chicken.
Okay.
Best chicken I've had in 10 years. Wow. Lorraine in St. Croix.
Okay,
you must go. It's hardcore local.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Like the three of us would stand out.
Right.
We stand out big time. Like, you know what I mean? My wife and I had a blast. We were just laughing it up with some of the people there. They were just very friendly group. Like, nice for the most part. Most people were friendly to us. But go to Lorraine. But anyhow, I couldn't get a Jersey guy pick, right? So I have 2 picks.
All right, what do you got?
You're gonna hate my picks, but I really believe in them.
I believe in my picks. You know, I haven't even looked at the line this week.
Listen. You're gonna.
I'm even afraid of watching the game tonight. My God, they are torturing us with that game tonight.
No, you're gonna hate my picks.
Okay.
But I like them. I like them a lot.
Okay.
All right. First of all, I like the Jets over the Raiders. I think the Raiders are a living mess. It's a -1. The Jets are giving them a point. I'm telling you, the Raiders have serious problems.
They do. I agree. Aiden O'Connell is not necessarily the answer. I understand that. The only problem is that Zach Wilson is definitely just as maybe worse than Aiden O'Connell, and he's on the road. I don't know if I would even.
But the defense is going to win the game. I'm telling you, the Jet defense.
Why not go under 37?
Well, that's interesting. You know, 36.5 I have here.
It's a lot of points.
It went to 36.5. This was 3 hours ago.
I have 37 here.
So I don't know. I mean, that's
okay.
I would. You know what?
So you're going Jets -1 on that.
I go Jets -1, and I'll take the under.
Okay.
Let me put that in there. I'm taking the under. Now, the other game, you're going to say, "What are you doing, Steve? What you lost your mind." You lost your mind. Now, I have a homer guy. There's a homer guy that I like about this, but it's not the reason. I'm taking Giants and 17.5.
Oh, against the Cowboys?
Cowboys aren't that good.
I know the Cowboys are chokers, so I understand where you're coming from.
And they're going to play down to the Giants.
Yeah, no. And they have a backup quarterback.
It's in New York.
Yeah.
You know who the backup quarterback is?
Yeah.
Tommy DeVito from Cedar Falls, New Jersey, or Cedar Grove, New Jersey. Tommy DeVito, Tommy D. Tommy D is like, he can't believe. There's people in Tommy D's high school saying, Tommy D's in the NFL? What happened? We liked him. He was good and all, but I can't believe he's in the NFL.
Yeah.
But that being said, he was okay at Syracuse, and then he went to Indiana or something like that.
Not an NFL quarterback.
He's not. I don't think he's your first choice. He's not even the Giants' first choice, but
no.
He's their third choice, but I think I'm telling you,
you are a gambler.
17.5 points.
I know.
Home.
I get it. It's
Saquon's playing.
You pick some bad games.
I'm telling you, that's
like
the
those
game.
are ugly games to bet. Like
there's not a lot of good ones.
No, this is a bad week. Sean and I were just talking about that. This is a bad week. I haven't really looked at it. But I glanced at it, and I haven't really taken the time to actually study.
This is not Jersey guy. This is Steve.
Yeah, no,
Steve.
I got
now that I'm going to come up with, now that we have sports betting, I'm going to start now we don't have sports betting until December 7th, but make sure you sign up on the Hialeah Park link or the Hialeah Park.
Less than a month away from it too.
Yeah, man, we're close.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so that's my little picks. The Jersey guy, I couldn't get a hold of him. I don't know what was happening. I think he's pissed off at me. I don't know. I might have pissed him off or something. I don't know. We have a fantasy team together, and I was disagreeing with some of the guys he was starting, and there was a lot of nasty texts going back and forth. So
I like Niners and Jags under.
Yeah, 45. You think, huh?
There's not going to be scoring in that game. The Jags defense is pretty good.
Yeah, the Jags are pretty good.
That offense for the Niners is bogged down. And then the San Francisco defense is really good, and I don't expect the Jags to put up a lot of points.
You like
under 45 on that one. I don't like the spread. I don't want to take the spread's too close.
What's his name? Debo's back. You know, Debo Samuels is healthy. He's not questionable. He's back.
They still don't. They don't have a. You know,
Brock is still pretty good. He had 2 bad games.
He's pretty good, but he's not good enough, I think. Still.
I don't know. Let's see.
At this moment, he has not played well. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think that they'll score a lot of points. I would say under 45 on that one. I don't know about
2 unders that you like.
Yeah.
You're like a non-offensive guy or something?
Well, no.
We're from Miami. We score points.
If you're telling me they're great defenses and not necessarily explosive offenses or bad quarterbacks like in the other one, I kind of like that.
Wait a second. On the 49ers and the Jaguars, they got a great quarterback.
No, the Jags have a great quarterback,
and the Niners have a very serviceable quarterback, better than serviceable.
But both of their defenses that they're facing are pretty good. I just don't think there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game.
I don't know.
I don't think both teams even get to 20.
I don't know. I'm putting your name in here. I don't know if I agree with you on that one.
I mean, I glanced at only. This is the second time I've glanced over, and that
It's a
would
tough
probably
week.
be
It's
one
a
of them.
horrible week. I mean, it's everything is like I don't know. I think the Bengals can cover over the Texans too, but you don't know about that. It seems like the Bengals are hot. You know what I mean? The Bengals are doing really well recently, but at any rate, it just proves to you when you look at something like this how tough sports betting is. Sports betting tough.
Oh, it is Bernanke. You are correct. It is Bernanke.
Did he win?
Shalom Bernanke. Yes, he did. Yes, and 14th chairman of the Federal Reserve from 6 to 14. Yes, that is him, and he's
6 to 14.
Yeah, and he won it. He won it. Yes, and that's the idiot that kept it.
Well, 6 to 14 was who was president?
Oh, I don't care. That doesn't.
No, because sometimes
it doesn't matter who you put in there.
sometimes the president puts pressure on it because they want the economy to go, so leave the interest rates down.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Well, through 14, you had half of Obama.
Yeah, most of that was Obama.
Yes, actually,
because if you look at Obama, it was like
Obama was 15, 16.
Most of his 8 years was 1 or 2.
So yeah,
0 to 1%.
Yeah.
0 to 1%.
Yeah. So he from 6 to 14. So he was just before Obama. Who was before Obama?
Bush.
So it was Bush that put him in.
Bush that put him in there, and Obama kept him and told him, "You make sure those."
Yeah.
You know, the rates are down.
At that time, he inherited the stock market at like 8,000.
Yeah.
We were at the bottom at that time. There was only one way to go when Obama.
Yeah, at that point, you just buy any stock; it's going to go up.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so I just want to let you know.
I like Obama personally, like a nice guy. As a politician, he wasn't very.
He was inexperienced the first year. He was so
incredibly overrated. Incredibly overrated. He added so much to the deficit. He was twice as worse as Bush Jr. And Bush Jr. was bad. He was worse than Bush Jr.
You know who wasn't a bad economic president? Bill Clinton.
No, Bill Clinton was the best out of all the guys we've had.
In our lifetime.
He balanced the budget 4 straight years.
Yeah, in our life.
Nobody does that.
And what did Bill? You know what Bill Clinton did? He walked across the aisle sometimes.
Yeah.
He compromised.
He was the best at that.
Politically, what's missing now, besides the fact that there's bozos on both sides,
the Wallace line.
What's missing is the art of compromise.
Right.
That's a problem. And you know when that really kicked in? When it really right about Obama and then Pelosi gets power. Once that happened, they were like, nobody's gonna compromise anymore.
Right.
And then what happens? Now we have this we have a very strange environment now. We have like 50% of the people are way over here, and 50% of it's crazy that it's damn near close to 50-50, which is kind of coincidentally, from a number standpoint, and nobody compromises anymore.
Nope.
This like Newt Gingrich, he was a compromiser. Oh, Bill Clinton was a compromiser. Say what you want about Bill Clinton.
The theme today on the show was that there's a Wallace line for everything.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know what the Wallace line is.
Is that George Wallace?
No. In Indonesia.
Jesus Christ! What are you bringing up him for?
If you go to Indonesia, and whether you've got Bali or Lombok, the two islands, they're separated, right? And they came from two different continents, and then the tectonic plates over millions of years brought them closer. But yet, if you go to two different sections of the country, the animals that are on two different, they're completely different. And that's the Wallace line. And so the gentleman that was a explorer, what was his full name again? Alfred Russel Wallace would go around the world.
I didn't know that. I didn't know we were going to get enlightened with this high-level geography, which I love geography.
That was my theme today, that we have a Wallace line, like the two believers and the non-believers.
It's so bad.
It's just
I want to throw rocks at the TV sometimes. It's like it doesn't matter what you watch.
You go to one island and it's Komodo dragons, and you go to another island and it's tigers and rhinos, and
and Wallace was just driving right through the middle.
And so he
checking out each island.
He created a imaginary line in between them, and then scientists realized years later that the tectonic plates and all that separated, because back then there was more ice. So the lands were there was more land,
movement, and it was moving too.
and there was more land because there was less water. It was all ice. And so then once the ice died and then everything moved, it all moved out. And then
I didn't know that.
there you go. So I called it the Wallace line because it's what we all deal with in life. There has to be, we end up choosing sides.
We picked the best of the two bad. That's
Right.
what tends to happen. Like I mean, that's been happening way too often.
Yep.
But the good thing is, as bad as politics is, Hialeah Park's getting sports betting,
Damn
and
right.
all your listeners are going to be able to bet the games, bet live
Whether you're
bets.
Democrat, Republican, or
It doesn't
independent.
matter. I love
We can all agree. Let's
Democrats want to bet, and so do Republicans.
Let's bet, baby.
We actually agree on something.
That's right. That's right.
Anyhow.
I'm just glad that our countries move forward, that we understand that it's entertainment.
Yeah, that is true. But when I first started out, we were
addictions and problems are in everything in life, dude. Give me a
food
break.
and eating. you have eating addictions, right? So
Give me a break. There's a couple of those issues here. Yeah, we have them. But I mean, give me a break. You know what I mean? It's up to you to control anything in your life.
When I started in gaming, in the casino business 42 years ago, I may add, it was like, my uncle, who's a great guy. He's 100. He was like a little bit concerned. You're down there in Atlantic City with all those bad guys. I'm like, what do you mean? There's like 30,000 new jobs here. There's an amazing economic boom going on. It's a great industry. I'm getting promoted every 6 months. It's just phenomenal. It was really quite amazing. In the early 80s, I hate to talk, how people talk about the past.
Yeah.
But the early 80s,
No, the 80s was a great.
of Atlantic City was spectacular.
The 80s was a spectacular period.
It was a pretty good time. It was.
I lived the 80s. Trust me, the 80s was fun.
And I can remember,
very fun.
if you didn't get
You
promoted,
with a Fiji bottle.
yeah, Fiji, that's pretty high end, right? You're probably paying them a little too much. You just kept the bottle.
Oh yeah. I've influenced you very.
Fiji's the best water. It's not even close.
I love Fiji.
But in the 80s in Atlantic City, it was so. I mean, it was just, if you didn't get promoted every 6 months, it'd be like, man, what happened? Like, you didn't get promoted. Something wrong with him or something like that. It was that good. Remember, each casino had about 3,000 or 4,000 employees. 10 of them opened up in 4 years. Like, it was instant. So what happened is,
I used to go.
So imagine, you're you're a supervisor, and your pit boss is Jimmy John, right? And Jimmy John is going to the new casino now because he's going to be casino manager. So you can either go be a pit boss here, or you can go work for him in another higher job. So you had two opportunities to get promoted, literally every 6 months. And
I used to go all the time to Atlantic City back in the 80s.
it was good. It was good. Now,
80s and early 90s.
yeah, and then it started to, then it started to, get corporate, and oh man, once again, we used to have, listen to this. I was a supervisor at one level, right? This was in like the mid 80s. This is a supervisor, right? And I had a little blue card, worked at Harris, and I could bring the card into the restaurant while I was working, have free lunch in a nice restaurant, not in the cafeteria, like in a restaurant where the customers were eating, and have alcohol. So you have a beer and a burger, and not pay for it. It was my little blue card. It was like a little credit card. I had my name, Steve Caliber, my employee at. And so then my roommate would come, and he would say, "Hey, listen, I'm going to wait for you." I'd go to the bar. I'd go up to the bar, and I'd give him my blue card. I'd sign, and my roommate and a couple girls, they'd be hanging out there for my last hour of my shift. They're getting all tuned up, so that after my shift, I'd go over to the bar and hang out.
Right.
For free.
Nice.
For free.
Nice.
That's pretty good stuff.
Damn right.
We were spoiled.
Damn right.
And we knew it too. We're like, this is really good. This is really good. Like, when is this going to end? We were saying that for like 10 years, and we had a monopoly too. Like, people cut. This was horrible. Customers would come in and say, "Hey, they don't do that. Don't do this." Like, there was no gambling anyplace else except Las Vegas and Atlantic City.
Right.
They don't do this in Las Vegas, and we're like, looking at each other like, well, get on a plane and fly 6 hours. I don't know.
Right, yeah.
We didn't say that, but we go to the break rooms like, what does he want us to do? I don't know. We don't do that here. Sorry. And so we had a monopoly, and the economy was great. And by the way, everybody was 25 to 35 years old.
Party time.
And there was lots of women and lots of, fun.
Party time.
And lots of alcohol. Anyhow, I have to stop because I can go on and on and on forever.
All good, bro. I appreciate you.
All right, man. Thanks
Good
a lot.
time. I love it.
Thanks a lot.
So
And
next month we get
December
sports
7th.
gambling, and Steve has promised he's going to create a nasty sports bar here. So
down on the casino floor, or maybe right here. Sean, this could be a secondary sports bar.
Actually, you can
put some more TVs up here.
Nah, dude, the noise for them. I don't think that's a cool thing.
You're gonna have to get over it.
Okay.
You put a couple more DP tables here. They don't, the poker tables are going to be a little sensitive to noise, but I think the designated player tables, designated player, just so you know, for your listeners, this Ultimate Texas Hold'em and this Heads Up Hold'em, which has better odds than Ultimate, kicking butt here at Hialeah Park the last 5 months.
Nice.
Kicking butt, like growing double digits.
Okay.
And why is it? So I was talking to the owner today. He goes, "Why is it growing?" I said, "Because it's an amazing bet for the customers. Heads up, the odds are the payouts are better on Heads Up Hold'em than Ultimate Texas Hold'em. It's the exact same game with a different name. Ultimate is owned by Light and Wonder, which used to be Bally's, and Heads Up Hold'em is owned by Galaxy Gaming. It's the same game. It's the same game. They have different names.
Correct.
But different odds, payout odds for Heads Up Hold'em. So let your visitors know that.
And
there are
Lucis
listeners.
slots down here in Hialeah, so make sure you check it out.
Giants and the Jets, don't forget it.
All right.
He's doubting me.
Yeah, that one.
I'm doubting the Jets. I'm doubting the under on the Jaguars.
I would only take the unders. You're too.
I think you're crazy on this under here. Let's see. Next week.
Out of that one, that's the only thing. I just don't touch points with bad teams. It's just
17 and a half. How bad is it? Are the Giants that bad?
Yeah, they're terrible. Did you watch them last week?
It was
the Raiders team that you said has problems pounded the crap out of the Giants by 400 points. Okay? All right.
Tommy DeVito, he's my man. Go Tommy D.
All right, folks. We thank David Furones. We thank Steve Calabro, as always. We thank, of course, the Brunetti family. Great supporters of our platform. We appreciate it. Sean Stanley, the man, the myth, the legend. We will see you all tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. live from Acura of Pembroke Pines. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.